Wrestling on weed.
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 Wrestling on weed. Subscribe today. Otherwise, we're gonna have a problem.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, Wild Nation? How y'all doing? KGM was cracking. I see you in here early. My guy, Blue Wrench Gang in the building. You know what it is. We got a lot of news to cover, guys. I got my kid in there asleep, so we're going to try to get through this as fast as possible. Sorry about yesterday. I had a lot going on with the fam, so I had to take care of that, but we here today. We're going to talk about AEW Dynamite a little later in that fire-ass, amazing-ass promo that we heard from MJF and Ricky Starks. Damn, I need to shave. But what's up, Gruss? I see you in the building, my guy. Appreciate you guys being in here early and often, man. You already know what it is. So, guys, I guess you probably want to talk about what everybody else is talking about right now, and that is Sasha Banks. I think we kind of have to talk about this. Because it was kind of crazy. Grush, you was at the Ring of Honor Dynamite show. Hopefully it's the last Ring of Honor Dynamite show. Hopefully we get back to AEW. That is the word. We'll talk about Tony Khan's media call in a little bit and the things that were discussed on that as well. But first, let's get into this Sasha Banks stuff, man, because there was a bunch of YouTubers, content creators who were vehement about the fact that Sasha Banks would never leave WWE. If she was to return to wrestling at any point, she would definitely be back in WWE because she is contracted to WWE and she would not be wrestling for any other promotions. Well, my friends, that was cap. That was all fucking cap. Because as of today, or yesterday, I guess, PW Insider has given us some more news about the whole Sasha Banks fiasco. Obviously, we haven't seen her in a long time in WWE since they walked out the company, they being her and Naomi Fatu. And we haven't seen them since. And Sasha's been killing it, doing her modeling, looking good as hell everywhere she is, doing red carpet events. She apparently just wrapped up her first movie, her first official movie role. She's already been in The Mandalorian. Season 3 is coming up. I'm pretty sure. I think I heard that she was in season 3 as well of The Mandalorian, which is one of the biggest shows on TV right now, one of the biggest series on Disney Plus for sure. So, she's killing it. She clearly does not need WWE to be a successful businesswoman. So, good for her. But it's not good for us and all those who love watching Sasha Banks wrestle. But fortunately for us, we're not done getting to watch Sasha Banks wrestle. But she might not be wrestling. She will not be wrestling for WWE when she comes back. She'll be wrestling for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, if you ask me, I saw this coming a mile away because she's been hinting at it for the last month or so with the post of her and Kairi Sane in the IWGP Women's Championship, the new IWGP Women's Championship, the first crown champion, Kairi Sane, well-deserved, by the way. Sasha posted a picture of her, and Kairi facing off. Some fan did a mock-up image, and she reposted it. She's also been, just training her ass off. She looks like she's in the best shape of her life currently. She hasn't been in the ring. She went to Mexico and trained with some Juventud Guerrera down there. She's been doing a lot of stuff, making sure that she's keeping her name in the wrestling newscape, even though I don't think her name would leave the wrestling newscape at any point unless she came out and said, I'm done wrestling forever. Yeah. But the news came out a couple days ago that she'll be I'm not sure if she'll be wrestling at this appearance because they said she'll just be making an appearance at the Tokyo Dome on January 4th for New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom 17. In addition, while it wasn't confirmed, if she would appear, in front of the fans or whatever, it was noted that New Japan was responsible for bringing Banks to the event, and that the former WWE champion wasn't just attending on her own accord as a spectator. So, New Japan made the call, or she made the call. I would assume there was something happened. I'm not sure who called who, but this is a grab for New Japan, man. This is massive. This is fucking massive. I'm wondering if everybody is as excited. That's a weird sentence. Is as excited as I am to see her wrestle in New Japan. I'm not too sure I want to see her wrestle anywhere else outside of that, and WWE. There's rumors that she could be popping up some other places. I'll hint at that in a minute. But IWG, she fits perfect over there. Sasha is a wrestler's wrestler. We all know New Japan and what they have to bring to the table as far as their product. And I think she fits in really well with that scene. I think this is more of a boost for New Japan than it is for Sasha Banks. I don't think she needs New Japan, just like she doesn't need WWE. But this is definitely a check on the resume that I think she should have as one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. Which is Mercedes gonna do what Mercedes wants. Yes, she is. Naomi looked good with Jade. Naomi, I don't know, man. Jade is like an 11, and then when she stands next to Naomi, she's like a 9. Naomi fine as hell, man. I don't know, man. Naomi is, Naomi just looks soft. Everything just looks soft and in place. Yeah, I love it. Obviously, I know how much I love me some Jade Cargill, but I don't know, man. That's a tough one to choose. But they both fine as hell. That's just some beautiful black women. Yeah, KGM only wants Sasha in WWE. Yeah, I feel you, but there's no new matches. Like there's some new matches now that the roster has been kind of flipped upside down or turned around a little bit. I wouldn't mind seeing her and Tegan Knox go at it, or her and Dakota Kai and some of these NXT women that should have been called up when she was there instead of fired. But I wouldn't mind seeing some of those matches. But there's definitely a few matches in New Japan that she could have. There's definitely some matches in the AEW that she could have, even though I don't know if I'm that hype. But, apparently someone else is very hype. And I should mention that she won't be wrestling for the IWGP Championship, Women's Championship at Wrestle Kingdom 17 because Kairi Sane already has an opponent. Tam Nakano. I'm not sure who that is, so I don't want to front like I do. But that's who Kairi will be facing for the championship. Sure, Kairi's going to retain. And then maybe we get Sasha Banks at the next New Japan pay-per-view if we actually ever get to see her wrestle in New Japan. I'm assuming that she will, since she's making this appearance. I'm assuming that she'll probably do a run-in, or she'll show up after the match and challenge Kairi, and it'll be a whole thing. She's trademarked a bunch of different ring names and phrases that are clearly aimed at wrestling. One is Banks' statement. She trademarked her own name, Mercedes Vernado. She trademarked, a couple other phrases that sound like they could be names or finishing moves or just marketing material in general. So clearly she's setting up to do some things outside of WWE. Otherwise, why are you doing this? If you're not going to be Sasha Banks in wrestling, then why are you making all these changes? So clearly she has some plans. And there's rumors that this match could happen in 2023, which I would definitely be all in for. Yeah, it's a New Japan pay-per-view that I would definitely be purchasing if Sasha actually shows up. Not sure where that would be, though. We had a lot of reports from outside of the WWE universe about Sasha leaving or not leaving. I mean, I guess she did already leave, but about her potentially doing things outside of WWE. And it's a lot of uncertainty going on, but there was a bunch of reports that suggested that she might be doing some things with AEW in the future. I don't believe that. I just don't. I don't believe that. But PW Insider dropped this bombshell story the other day about the whole Wrestle Kingdom stuff, and then there was an update from Fightful Select that reported about Banks appearing at the New Japan event. And that's what opened up all these different scenarios, people talking and making their own assumptions about what she would do, which is probably not a good idea because clearly no one thought that she would end up in New Japan. So people should probably just chill and wait for her to figure out what she wants to do, or wait for her to reveal her plans if she already knows what she wants to do. But there were some sources, I guess they were from Sean, Rossap, and all those guys over there at Fightful. They said they quoted some anonymous AEW sources saying that Banks could be the answer to the AEW's dwindling television ratings. One AEW source quickly agreed. They thought that having Sasha Banks on their show weekly is another anchor for their women's division, something that could kickstart interest in it, and Phil would significantly help viewership. And that was all reported by Fightful. Now, an anchor is almost disrespectful. Honestly, if Sasha Banks shows up to the AEW's women's division, Sasha Banks is the AEW women's division immediately. Britt Baker is no longer able to call herself the biggest star in the women's division. She could do that when Saraya shows up. You know what I mean? She can't do that when Sasha shows up. You know what I mean? Britt Baker ain't in The Mandalorian. So, she's not modeling nowhere. You know what I mean? She's a fucking dentist when she's not wrestling. So this is more than an opportunity to get an anchor for your women's division. This is a opportunity to get a draw for your entire company, man or woman. Sasha would immediately be like top 10 superstar in the entire, man or woman, top 5. What am I talking about? She'd be top 5 superstar. Jericho, Bryan, Moxley, maybe Omega. You know what I mean? Maybe he's not more popular than Sasha Banks. What am I talking about? Kenny Omega's not more popular than Sasha Banks. He ain't in The Mandalorian either. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know what they talk about an anchor. This bitch would change y'all lives. Everybody making more money if Sasha Banks comes to the company. It just is what it is. The ratings don't go up because the dudes love watching her because she's gorgeous and she's great in the ring. The women love watching her because she's an inspiration. She has a great character. Sasha Banks she's as Jade would say, that bitch. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, if this is something that could happen or if this is something that I want to see happen, because what matches would she actually have there in AEW? She would lift the entire division. I could see Sasha going there and being a babyface and feuding with Britt Baker. That would be awesome. I could see her feuding with Jamie Hayter over the title at some point, if Jamie still has it, if this ever happens. This is all make-believe at this point, but I could see that happening, and that would be good. Maybe her and Saraya, yeah, obviously, they helped start this whole women's revolution in wrestling and having people focus on women's wrestling instead of women's tits. You know what I mean? So, those two had a lot to do with it. So I really, I don't know. Maybe I do want to see her wrestle in AEW. But then that means, obviously, she's not going to be back in WWE, and Sasha needs to be on the biggest stage possible. She just does. Now, the thing with me saying that she needs to be on the biggest stage possible, that, without question, is the E. That's WWE. It's the biggest wrestling promotion in the world. It's a global brand. Everyone knows that. They pay the most. It is what it is. But fam, can we talk about the state of wrestling before I get into all of these other news stories? Because there's a lot. But the state of wrestling is in a very tricky spot right now. These ratings for wrestling shows are plummeting. I mean, wrestling is losing like hundreds of thousands of viewers. You know what I mean? Every month it feels like the numbers are getting lower. Now, I've heard some YouTubers, talk about this, and content creators or whatever talk about this, and, they've been pointing this out for months and how this is a real problem. And I didn't think it was like a huge issue because, it's football season. It's a lot of things going on, but it's cold outside, man. And usually the ratings aren't that piss poor for wrestling. These are the dark days of December, especially in WWE. We know they usually phone it in, just like last week was kind of a blob Monday Night Raw, or whatever. But these ratings are suffering. Rampage last week for AEW, the lowest rated episode of Rampage ever. In the 2-3 years they've been doing it, however long Rampage has been around, it's the lowest viewership they've ever gotten on the show. It was a pathetic number, like 300,000. It was horrible. So, they kind of are trying to bounce back because I think they got Moxley on the show this Friday. I think he said on Dynamite that he was going to be wrestling on Friday. He did an open challenge. I'm not sure who they're going to have him face. But I don't think Moxley... Are people going to watch Rampage because Moxley's wrestling? An open challenge, unless they announce that it's some big name that's coming in to wrestle him. And I don't know. I'm not sure if Moxley's a draw, man. I'm not sure. Like, I love Moxley. Moxley is amazing. He's carried the company. He's a great world champion when he is world champion. He's a locker room leader. He's everything that you want a pro wrestler to be, hands down. No disrespect to John Moxley at all. But I'm just not sure. You got spoilers, Gruss, for Rampage? Who's he wrestling then? Tell us who he's wrestling. If y'all don't care, I don't think nobody cares. Nobody's watching fucking Rampage. Who's he wrestling for Rampage? I'm interested. I haven't checked out the spoilers. BC Amplified been talking about ratings for months. I haven't watched his show in a couple weeks, but he's the ratings guy. Like, every time I watch his show, he's talking about the viewership numbers and the ratings and all that stuff. So another AEW debut will happen. A former fuck. Is it Miro? It's not Miro. Hold on, let me get my Tozawa. Let me get in my Tozawa. I don't care. I gotta get that on my fucking soundboard, man. I gotta go clip the audio from that clip. That was just amazing. Because, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Unless it's Miro, Lance Archer would be okay. You know what I mean? It's like, there's people that I would rather see Moxley fight. It's not for a title. I heard Rampage only had 2 viewers traffic. Tony Khan was watching from his cell phone to give him an extra click. You know what I mean? Nobody watches that shit, man. And it's in a terrible spot. I feel like more people watch it if they had a different time slot. He's got shit to do. SmackDown's in a bad time slot. You know what I mean? It's like, but it's WWE. They're a global brand. They've been around for 30 years. SmackDown's been around for 20-something years, 25 years, something like that. So it's like, that show's not going anywhere. People gonna watch it, like, they gonna get 1.4, 1.5 usually, no matter what. I don't even want to jinx them, because that shit been plummeting too. Like, I remember when SmackDown was pulling in 2 million, 2.1 at one point, and then out of nowhere, shit just plummeting. That's with the Sami Zayn in one of the best storylines that WWE has had in forever. With the bloodline and Sami Zayn and all that being super entertaining, the ratings still aren't reflecting that, so I'm just not sure about the state of wrestling right now, man. These numbers are looking bad. It's like less and less people care about wrestling. I'm not sure why, because there's more. Maybe there's just too much wrestling. Maybe people are waiting for Ring of Honor to get a TV. I'm sorry. I don't know why I just said that. That's not true. No one's waiting on Ring of Honor to get a TV deal. Only the only people waiting on Ring of Honor to get a TV deal are the people who are sick of seeing Ring of Honor on AEW. That includes me. So I guess I am looking forward to Ring of Honor to get a TV deal, just not for these reasons. Not so I can watch it. It's more so I don't have to watch it. You know what I mean? I God, man. Can I shout out real quick? Speaking of the state of wrestling, because we still getting amazing wrestling matches. Wrestlers are better than they've ever been in the history of wrestling. I don't think we could deny that. The in-ring skill level of these guys and gals is greater than we ever. We ain't seeing no Hulk Hogan leg drops. Yeah, well, Becky does a leg drop, but you know what I mean. There's real wrestling going on now on TV. So wrestling is better than it ever has been in ring. But people still aren't tuning in. It's for some reason. It's the shows just aren't clicking with the viewers. I don't know if because everyone knows that it's fake now. It's like it's well known that kayfabe is a whole different world. From I think maybe in the Attitude Era there was still like a few people before Vince came out and cut the "we don't want to insult your intelligence" promo. When the Attitude Era was really kicking into gear. Before that, I felt like it was still people who believed it was real, you know what I mean? Or they weren't sure, at least, you know what I mean? They heard it could be fake, but there were still people who, like the girl that I'm dating right now, I told her I watch wrestling, and she was like, yo, is it real? I was like, now you asking me that because you want to see if I'm going to say yeah? Or are you asking me that because you actually believe that it's real? I was like, I thought everybody knew that this shit was staged at this point. You know what I mean? Yokozuna did not have a leg drop. That was not a leg. That was a tree. So, it's the whole tree fall in the woods thing. Does anybody hear it? If you were under Yokozuna, yes, you heard it. Unless he exploded your eardrum by landing on your head. Yeah, I mean? So, yeah, Yokozuna, man. R.I.P. Yokozuna. I remember when SmackDown pulled 3.5 in the Attitude Era. Easily. I mean, Monday Night Raw at WCW Nitro, they had 10 million viewers every Monday. Wrestling was in a different space, and that's why I'm saying some people still felt that it was real. Also, I think a big thing comparing the Attitude Era to today's era of wrestling and why the viewership isn't as high, I'm going to give you guys the answer. The answer is this. This is the answer. And the fact that, because people have a zillion different forms of entertainment. Yeah, I mean, they just do. Back in the Attitude Era, you couldn't go on YouTube after the show and watch all the clips from the show and catch up on everything that happened in 20, 25 minutes. 25 years ago, there wasn't a bunch of YouTube didn't exist. So there wasn't a bunch of YouTube channels where you could just go watch a podcast to talk about the show and didn't have to watch it. There wasn't a bunch of other things distracting you like Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all these things to distract you. And there's just so many different forms of entertainment. There's all these streaming services. People watching TV shows and Marvel movies. And there's just so much more going on to interest that, can grab people's interest that pro wrestling isn't at the top of the list. Pro wrestling was like the most dramatic, the live show. It was just a real fucking difference. You know what I mean? As far as the attention spans of people 20, 25 years ago than now. We know people have the attention span of, I don't know, a fucking 1-year-old at this point when it comes to, their entertainment sources. So, people will be interested in something for a minute and then they'll move on to whatever else catches their attention. So it wasn't like that back in the day. Wrestling fans were there every Monday, every Thursday when Thunder was on. Thunder was definitely pulling in viewership, and it was never as good of a show as Dynamite was. Like ever, at any point, was Thunder as good of a show as Dynamite has been over the last 3 years, mainly because it was the WCW B team. But like I said, wrestling was in a different space. People tuned in to watch it for different reasons, mainly because, and I feel like one of the biggest reasons they just had less distractions. Wrestling was on one of the few things like it on TV back then. And now you got all kind of gory and bloody TV shows that you can watch. It's just so many more options. But that's just my thoughts on the state of wrestling. It's a little weird right now. But Sasha Banks, the New Japan, is, to me, it's a great thing. I love it. I hope that Mercedes keeps doing more stuff outside of the E, just to, keep building her brand. So nobody should need to work for somebody. You know what I mean? Like, if she has the opportunity to create her own business outside of that company that made her, granted, you know what I mean? I think she could be the female Rock, man. I think Sasha has the potential to be the female Dwayne Johnson if she chooses to be. She's a damn good actress from what I can see, the little bit that I've seen from her. Obviously, she's beautiful. She has all the talent. I think she wants to rap. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I don't know. Laylo would be Laylo the World pre-social media. Yeah. What a time to be alive, bro. It was just, yeah, man. I'm glad I got to experience it. That's what I will say. I'm glad I got to experience the world before social media. That way I'm aware of the things that social media has changed. You know what I mean? If you didn't get to experience life before Twitter and Instagram and even MySpace, then you might not understand what, the world is today and how much it's changed. KGM said after she asked Laylo if wrestling was real, she started whooping his ass like Vader did that. Hey, man, stop it, man. No, she did not. No, she did not. I was like, no, it's fake. She was like, oh, okay. I was just wondering. I was like, Did you know this shit fake? At least you better know. Shit. But no, she's never watched wrestling, so she wouldn't fucking know. She probably just hears rumors or other people talk about it. But yeah, every girl that I date ends up becoming a wrestling fan because they ain't got no choice. You want to be over here during wrestling hours? Then this is what we watching. So it is what it is. But yeah, man, it's good for Mercedes doing what she does, and looking forward to seeing her pop up at Wrestle Kingdom 17, January 4th. Should be a fun night. They're gonna sell a crap load of pay-per-view sales just because of her. So I hope she getting the bag. Let's talk about John Cena, man. Let's talk about John Cena. It appears that John Cena may be headed to the Blue brand very soon. Variety, it's a pretty credible source. They learned that the Peacemaker star and former multi-time WWE champion is set to appear on the final SmackDown of the year, December 30th, from the Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. This comes on the heels of Cena's only other WWE appearance of the year, back on June 27th, Raw, celebrating his 20 years in the industry. That was a cool little night. Cena didn't wrestle that night, but he did appear in a bunch of backstage segments throughout the night and cut a promo, telling everybody how much they appreciate him or whatever. But while there's no word on whether or not he'll be mixing it up in the ring or whatever, people don't have to go back far to remember his last match. You know what I mean? SummerSlam 2021, when he tried to go up against the tribal chief to claim his Universal Championship. Didn't work out for him. Was that that wasn't his last. What am I talking about? It wasn't Cena. It was Fiend. Why'd I say? Did he fight Cena? No, he didn't. Am I high right now? When did Bray leave? Which match was first? I can't even remember. Did John get evaporated, then come back and face Roman, or was it vice versa? I can't quite remember. But anyways, it's gonna be good to see John back. I think that WWE needs him more than they ever knew. I think they need John Cena more than they would need somebody like The Rock. Because WWE just doesn't have any baby faces. Like they're not good at building baby faces. At least they haven't been over the last few. Obviously, they failed miserably with Roman Reigns. They try with Seth Rollins, but it only works when he's a tweener. They ruined Matt Riddle. It's just they don't really have good babyface building, techniques or whatever you want to call it when it comes to storytelling. So John Cena is much needed. Obviously, he's not going to be hanging around that long. He's a big time movie star now. He's going to do what he does and get the fuck up out of there, which I ain't mad at him for that. You know what I mean? Go get your Hollywood bag, man. I don't even expect John to come through and put his body through a grueling match and take crazy bumps. He probably got a movie lined up. So I'm not even going to, not even going to put that pressure on him or those type of expectations on him. I'm just happy that, he decides to pop up every now and then and show love. He's showing up on December 30th. I would assume, it's a complete assumption, I would assume that that's when his WrestleMania storyline is going to start. Now, I don't know if it's going to be Austin Theory. I don't know if it's going to be Roman Reigns. It could be Seth Rollins. It could be Dolph Ziggler. I'm joking. But no, it could be, there's a bunch of names, that, it could be. I wouldn't mind seeing John Cena go up against Bray Wyatt. Because to me personally, John Cena, he's not winning. He can't win. Like, you can't let people leave for years and come back rusty and all these different things and beat your stars and then your potential stars or whatever and then just bounce back out to Hollywood or whatever. It just makes zero fucking sense to do that. That's not getting anyone over just because they're, in the ring with this person, even though I know Kevin Owens and Stone Cold, but Kevin Owens is already over. He's already a fucking massive superstar. That's why he got the match with Stone Cold. You know what I mean? So, you can't be having people come in, and just beat the people you're trying to build up. Kevin Owens didn't need to be built up. He was already a made man. So, depending on who John Cena wrestles, I guess, is what would determine whether or not he should win. If he faces Austin Theory, he should not win. If he faces Bray Wyatt again, he should not win. Like, there's certain people he should not beat. He should be coming back to put them over and give them the stamp of, I beat John Cena, and just call it a day. You know what I mean? He did that for Bray, and that match was amazing. The best of the few, cinematic matches that we got. That was definitely the best, and just showed Bray's creativity. So, I wasn't always a Cena guy. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes he was boring, but I've always appreciated John Cena for what he was, and what he was trying to do. Because not many people can force that babyface shit on you and still be accepted the way he was. So yeah, you can't just beat the stars and leave. Insert Goldberg. I'm so glad Triple H is in charge. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just glad Triple H is in charge now because obviously things were different. Things used to be different. I don't think things will be the same going forward with 3 H's in front, in charge of everything. Seth Rollins needs to be the new leader of the Maximum Male Models, dressing like Lil Nas X. Yeah, man, he wore a double-breasted crop top suit jacket with no shirt underneath it. And before that, he wore like a lace night suit outfit. I don't know. It just looks like a girl would wear. And Seth Rollins is definitely out there dressing like a Maximum Male Model who we haven't seen since LA Knight beat the shit out of them. We haven't seen them since. And, I like that gimmick. They were funny. They were goofy. They were definitely heels. Like, you want to boo them and see them get beat up. But they were funny, and they were all in on the gimmick, which makes it even better. And I think you need gimmicks like the Maximum Male Models because you want something that you could be looking at and like, yo, these dudes are fucking ridiculous. They're funny, but and they take crazy bumps. Like, remember when they were standing on the stage and Braun Strowman came out and the look on their faces, especially Mace. I can't call him Mace. It's so weird to say. But especially look on his Dio Madden's face. Yeah, those guys are good, man. They were good. And they're both green in the ring. I mean, they weren't green. You know what I mean? Mansoor obviously was a really good pro wrestler. Dio Madden had been training for years, did commentary and all that, wrestled in NXT, all that stuff. So, these guys weren't super green, but they were still green, still learning, still under the learning tree. So I would have kept the Maximum Male Models gimmick going, maybe bring them back, put them with Seth Rollins. I mean, it makes sense as far as the outfits are concerned, 100%. And it would definitely bring those guys up to the top of the card, obviously, because without Seth Rollins, they should be nowhere near a championship, a main event, anything. They are clearly just filler for whatever segments they need to fill in 3 hours on a show. So it is what it is, though. Sometimes you need filler, man. You know what I mean? As long as it's entertaining filler. Everything doesn't have to be the main event or the spotlight. Gruss said, I just saw a video where Hulk Hogan said he would choose Kevin Owens as a partner if he can come back. The question is, would Kevin Owens choose him? And I'm pretty sure the answer is no. Me just going off of what I know about Kevin Owens and what type of person he is and his beliefs and everything, I am 100% sure. I'm not even going to go out on a limb. I'm 1,000% sure that Kevin Owens would never in a million years be in a tag team with Hulk Hogan. I'm almost certain of it. So I know there's other people who did. I mean, that's, you know, a lot of people tag with Hogan before they found out he was a horrible racist. And he didn't want his daughter dating black guys. I mean, it's, you know, it was all good before that. You know what I mean? After that, it was only Vince who liked him. You know what I mean? So, and, you know, we can't, you know, who Vince likes is probably, you know, it's not the best decisions to like the same people Vince likes. But in other news, we have an update on Charlotte Flair's possible return. It's looking like we're going to get Charlotte returning at the Royal Rumble. Now, I'm not 100% sure if that's the best idea unless she's going to win it, because who the fuck is going to eliminate Charlotte Flair? Like, okay, you could start a feud because she's clearly not going anywhere near the title before WrestleMania, as she shouldn't. Please don't put Charlotte Flair in a title match when she hasn't been around all year. That would be a ridiculous thing to do. But she definitely should be on the show. She's a fucking superstar. She's Charlotte Flair. So, you know, maybe you start a feud with her and somebody else in the Rumble, whoever eliminates her, or maybe whoever she eliminates. I don't know. But if she's in the match, she's probably going to have a long run in it and, you know, lose to somebody. It won't be Becky. It won't be Bayley. It won't be Ronda. I hope it's not any of those girls. Well, Ronda won't be in the match, but you know what I mean? Like, it's got to be somebody new. So, you know, I want to see Charlotte back. I want to see Charlotte Black. I don't know if that's a wrestler. Charlotte Black, I don't know. I just know Malachi Black. But yeah, you know, looking forward to seeing Charlotte and that pretty smile come back. Hopefully she stops doing that top rope moonsault, even though it's definitely a difficult move to do. She just never actually hurts anyone with it, or it never looks like she hurts anybody. But she does it very gracefully, so give her that. Have Shayna eliminate Charlotte Flair for Ronda Rousey, and then you have Shayna versus Charlotte. But then who's the baby face? Charlotte Flair. Can she be a baby face? She's just so much better as a heel. And she won't be no baby. Charlotte can't be no baby face. She talk too much shit. Charlotte is the queen. You can't walk around calling yourself the queen of everybody. Well, I mean, it's not totally true though, because I mean, Xavier Woods was the king. He's a super baby face. So maybe it could happen. But, you know, just depends on who they put her against. They put her against Ronda Rousey, she's the baby face, because everyone hates Ronda right now. Ronda did it to herself, though. She did all that shit to herself, shitting on the fans, shitting on the product, saying wrestling's fake, all this crazy shit. You know what I mean? Looking like she don't want to be there, botching every single match like 5 moves. Like, you know. And I'll give Ronda credit. She came out and had an explanation for why she botched the move, and it was I understood what she said. You know, she was saying she was trying to protect Shotzi from falling her head. She had been working on the move, but she had never really got to do it, to practice it that much. So that's why they botched it. But then she, you know, I don't know, you know, people should be trying to get me fired and saying I should be fired for, you know, trying to keep somebody safe. Ronda, how about if you don't want to botch moves, don't do shit you haven't practiced. It's like, yeah, we're going to do this crazy spot that takes a lot of fucking work to make sure it goes right so no one fucking breaks their neck. But no, we're not. No, we ain't got time to practice it. But no, we're going to do it in the match first time. That's because that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Even though I actually am not that good of a pro wrestler, and neither is the person I'm going up against. We're going to try this crazy move on the ring apron and see if it works. Look, what? Like, no, absolutely fucking not. That's crazy. The EST is not a babyface gimmick. It is not. It is not a babyface gimmick. That's why sometimes, it's a little awkward when she's talking about she's the ES, especially when she's out there with Oscar and Alexa and all these former champions. It's like, bitch, they gonna turn on you. It's the same thing with Red Velvet and Jade Cargill, as she's saying she the shit and the best, and they looking at her like, bitch, I want your belt. You know what I mean? I want your title. You know what I mean? How the fuck you think you the best? But it is what it is. Hi, I want to offer promotion for your channel, viewers, followers, chatbots. The price is lower than man, if you don't get out of here with your goofy ass, I didn't even mean to ban hammer. Get out of here. We don't need spam over here, man. I don't need no chat bots. What the fuck you talking about? I got my niggas in here, man. You know what I mean? So Kanye West and Herschel Walker don't approve of your statements about yeah, you're probably right. Seeing as I don't agree with 99% of the things they say, that's fair. They're welcome to disagree with my opinions on Hulk Hogan. Both of those men have lost all of their marbles. Kanye probably still got a couple marbles left. They're cracked. You know what I mean? They've been dropped on concrete a bunch. A couple of them are chipped. He's still got a little bit of marbles. You know what I mean? But Herschel Walker is just dumb. He has CTE, clearly. That man ran his head up against people with thin helmets back in the day. He is clearly a nut job. You know what I mean? Like crazy as batshit. Kanye just has demons, man. Kanye struggled. He's probably got some mental problems going on up there, bipolar things going on up there, but that's no excuse for being as reckless as he's been. He said a bunch of dangerous shit, you know what I mean, that isn't cool. You know what I mean? It's just like, shit, I feel like I say controversial shit, but there ain't no way I'm going to bash a whole race of people for some kind of weird stance. I don't care what you believe, buddy. It's just I don't want nobody doing that to black people. And I know there's fucked up black people out there, but I don't want everybody being like, yeah, all the black people are fucked up. They're all terrible. I'm not, that's weird, man. You can't just label a whole race. I'm not even comfortable with people doing that to white people, even though it's popular these days, like white man evil. You know what I mean? It's I'm just I got mad white friends though. They don't motherfuckers that held me down when I was at my lowest and shit. Ain't never asked me for that. I know a bunch of good people of all races. So just trying to pigeon it. I don't even know how we talking about this, but trying to just group a whole group of people and say they're all against you or they're all a part of this fucking conspiracy is just weird. So yeah, fuck Kanye and fuck Balenciaga too. You know what I mean? Fuck all them motherfuckers. It's like a bunch of assholes fighting each other. It's just I don't. It was like the Trump and Biden race. It was I don't want neither of these motherfuckers. Can I be president? You might as well just put me in there. Can I write The Rock in? Can we just write The Rock in? You know what I mean? He's Republican, but hey, I'll take The Rock. I don't hate Republicans. I don't hate all Republicans. You know what I mean? I hate the Republicans who do fucked up shit. That's just, you know what I mean? I'm all about good and evil, man. You're a good person. I don't care what you represent or whatever is. You're a good person. You know what I mean? Gay, straight, blue, purple. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? You're a bad person. You do evil shit to people. And also don't care what race or affiliation or creed you come from. It's just it's good and evil. I don't see color, man. I know other people do. You know what I mean? And that could affect me. You know what I mean? Cops see a black face. Some people see, whatever. But I'm just speaking for me personally. I don't judge people based on their color because I know dickheads from all races. You know what I mean? And I know great people from all races. But back to wrestling. Let's talk about someone I don't want to talk about, but we have to talk about him. We don't have to, but I'm going to because I feel like it's an important story. Matt Hardy. Now, a lot of you guys were more into this story than I have been. I haven't really seen a lot of this story because I don't watch Rampage. No one does, clearly. But apparently this whole Matt Hardy and Ethan Page thing is getting over with the fans. It's supposed to be pretty good. Matt Hardy's with Ethan Page. He has to work for Ethan Page, blah, blah, blah. And we'll talk about the Battle Royal that happened on Dynamite in a minute. But yeah, the Hardy Boys, obviously, they were supposed to be capturing some AEW gold back in June. It was looking like they were heading that way. And then, obviously, we had another situation with Jeff not being able to control his urges, not being disciplined. battling his demons, as he's been doing for I don't even know how long at this point. It's been 15, 20 years of this same bullshit with Jeff Hardy. Personally, to me, I think there's a bunch of people enabling him, and I don't think he should be allowed to be back in professional wrestling. At some point, the more you accept people doing fucked up shit. Now, if he was just like getting wasted and like going to like, getting naked and running up the street, you know what I mean, doing wild shit, I'd be like, hey man, you got a problem, let him get it. This man's getting behind the wheels of cars. You know what I mean? That's a no-no. You know what I mean? That is absolutely a no-no, my guy. Like you can't, at that point, you're risking other people's lives. You know what I mean? So, and I can't support that. You know what I mean? So I really have no interest in seeing Jeff Hardy wrestle again until he's 1,000% clean for a couple years at least, and he's not battling the same demons. We all know that alcoholism is a demon. Drug abuse is a demon if you don't have discipline. That shit will ruin your life. But he did get, another DUI charge, which led to all this bullshit and him being removed from the AEW roster and TV and all that stuff right at the height of their push in AEW. But, Matt gave an update on him. It's not much there. Matt said he's basically been doing the same thing he's been doing. He was talking to the Extreme Life. He was talking on the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy podcast or whatever. He said he's doing exactly what he needs to be doing to get where he needs to be in life, more or less. We've just got to get these legal issues behind him before we move forward. So that's kind of where we're at with Jeff, and we're hoping that happens sooner rather than later. Matt continues saying his brother seems to be in a really good place now, which he described as very nice and refreshing change. He has a pre-trial hearing coming up, and hopefully that's all the legal stuff. Now, this is the enabling I'm talking about. Fuck the legal issues, my nigga. He doesn't need to just immediately be shoved back on TV once they drop the charges or he gets found guilty, whatever. That's not the end of the problems. The problem started with the drinking and him getting behind the wheels of cars. He's in a good space, but is he going to stay in a good space? They talking like this is the first time this has ever happened. It's like the 15th time this has happened. It's basically a cycle. He comes back, he does some dumb shit. Yeah, I mean, he's back for a little bit, maybe a few months, maybe a year or two at the most. Then he does some stupid shit, gets drunk, get behind the wheel of a car, and gets pulled over. And then he goes to rehab, and everybody's like, "Oh, poor Jeff. Hopefully he gets his stuff together." He gets out of rehab, and he comes right back to wrestling. I'm sick of this shit. Yeah, I mean, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of Jeff Hardy. I wish him the best. I hope that he gets help because I don't want to see anybody going through shit like this. It's fucked up. He has problems. You know what I mean? And, I don't have an addictive personality like that, so I've never struggled with addiction per se, but, except for women. It's a whole different story. But, he's not okay, man. It's not okay. I'm glad he's in a good space now, but he needs to stay the fuck away from wrestling rings. Yeah, I mean, number one reason is because outside he might show up drunk like he did against Sting back in the day at TNA, but that's a whole different thing. But the main thing is because he's just gonna assume that everything's okay and it's just gonna keep happening, man. You know what I mean? They keep enabling, they're making this shit seem like it's okay by just throwing him back on TV. Who's he a role model for? He's a fucking babyface. Who is Jeff Hardy a role model for? I'm sorry, who? Like, he's a uber babyface. He's not anywhere close to being a heel. How the fuck you gonna bring him back to wrestling and tell people to cheer for him when he's risking people's lives every other year by getting wasted and driving a car? You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I can't do it, man. I'm done with Jeff Hardy, bro. And I've been done with Matt Hardy's slow moving ass. Like, Matt Hardy's still good at telling stories. Obviously, this shit with Ethan Page is probably, I don't fucking know anything about it, but apparently it's decent. He's still good as far as that. He probably could lend some stuff to backstage talent as far as helping them get better at whatever they do. But in the ring, Matt Hardy's done. He's done. Done. Every single wrestler in AEW is better than Matt Hardy in the ring. All of them. I'd rather see Jade Cargill wrestle. Honestly, she's less stiff than Matt Hardy at this point. The man, he broke his ass bone, I think. Like, I don't even know he's broken so much stuff. He's like, come on, man. Like, and then he does these crazy bumps and shit like he did when he almost killed himself against Sammy Guevara. Like, I don't need to see the Hardy Boys no more, man. I just don't. Like, I don't. Like, you had Christian and Edge was gone for 7, 8, 9 years or something. You know, I, we had a reason to miss him. And then he comes back and he goes right back away. He's like, I'm not trying to be here. I got a family. Edge is a grown man. So is Christian. They doing grown men shit. While the Hardy Boys are still boys. Literally boys. You know what I mean? They act like children for the most part. Matt Hardy can't control his wife on social media. You know what I mean? She's usually the one fighting for him instead of him defending himself. Yeah, Matt Hardy is the reason I don't like the leg drop. You're right. Facts. Hogan and Hardy. You know what I mean? It just ruined the leg drop for me. You know what I mean? But, plus it's a shit move. Like, let's just be honest. Like, it's a horrible fucking move. Like, who are you hurting? Unless you are Yokozuna or Nia Jax. Who are you hurting with the fucking leg drop, my nigga? Unless you start putting that shit across people's noses. Like, I don't even know if that would hurt that much. Maybe. But I feel like you're hurting yourself way more. Like, fucking back muscles and ass and your fucking spinal cord just being jammed in it's just a terrible move. I don't like it. But who would you watch? Marina Shafir and Matt Hardy? Football. And it wouldn't even have to be live. I'd go watch something on NFL Network. I watch a YouTube video. Are you guys doing any YouTube videos? I go rewatch my show. I'd do anything. I'd go clip my nails. I'd take my dog for a walk. I would do anything but watch either of them wrestle. There's no way. I'd never want to see Marina Shafir wrestle. I don't care about her. And I honestly don't give a shit about Matt Hardy or Jeff Hardy watching them wrestle. I just don't. I don't care. Jeff Hardy is Randy the Ram. Who is Randy the... Wait a minute. That's a character from a movie. I can't remember which one, though. Who is Randy the Ram? Remind me, Gruss. I can't remember who that is. The answer to your question is Shafir Hardy, us. Right. Exactly. I mean, fuck that. Yeah. Yokozuna definitely had a devastating leg drop. But to wrap this up, man. No. Say no to Jeff Hardy because Jeff Hardy won't say no to getting to drunk driving. That's basically my thoughts on that situation. Now we got some unfortunate news because the homie Conan has had a bunch of health issues, and he's involved with AAA and all these different promos or whatever, and he has his podcast, and the dude has just been going through it. You know what I mean? I think he had like a kidney transplant or something like that back in the day. And it's just giving him a lot of issues. Plus, he's old, man. It's just age. You know what I mean? So he's dealing with all of these things. Feels like, he's trying to find another donor, a compatible donor for another kidney transplant, which sucks. Obviously, if you know anything about kidney transplants, they're a lot harder to do or to, find matches. Because there's a lot of factors that go into replacing your kidney with someone else's. But hopefully things go well for the homie Conan, man. We were talking about WCW earlier. He was a massive part of that. And still being in the realm of pro wrestling, working with the different Latino talent to help get them over. It was the movie with, The Wrestler. That's right. I was like, I know that name. I was like, I definitely know that name. The Wrestler. That was a great movie, by the way. Mickey Rourke is a phenomenal actor, man. That dude's, man, he's a good actor, man. He's good in Iron Man, too. But yeah, so get well soon, Conan. Hopefully he finds a donor. That sucks that he's dealing with that. Good news for WWE, even though the ratings suck right now. Elimination Chamber did sell out on the first day. It seems like a lot of these WWE pay-per-views are doing really well. I wish the ratings would match. Just seems like when you're selling out pay-per-views in a day, you should be having 3 million people watching the show. But that is not the case. Raw's been under 2 million. SmackDown's been under 1.5. It's a rough go right now for the TV viewership, but at least the pay-per-views are still making a shitload of money. obviously with WWE doing all these pay-per-views abroad in these big-ass stadiums, selling out 67,000, 70,000 seats, while also doing the pay-per-views over here and across the world. Like, they're making their bag. WWE is not hurting for money. Their TV deals are massive. When they re-sign their TV deals, they'll still be massive. It's a global brand. WWE is never going away. So get used to it. And I'm happy for WWE. Obviously, as a wrestling fan, I want the shows to sell out and the crowds to be crazy packed and different things like that. So that's good. Let's talk about. I'll save this for towards the end. I don't want to keep talking about people with health issues. This shit is sad. Let's talk about Asuka, man. You mentioned Asuka earlier. Sorry. Didn't mean to swallow ice. No one wants to hear me crunching on ice during the show. But Asuka, man. Is Asuka going back to her old sexy gimmick from when she was, where was she at in Stardom? I think right before she came to WWE. I don't remember what. I think it was Stardom that she was in. But yeah, Asuka used to have this crazy gimmick. If you ever seen any old photos of her, she used to look like she was an Asian porn star. I ain't gonna lie. It looked like she was into a lot of freaky shit. You know what I mean? And she was always tied up and had some sexy gear on, and she's not the family friendly Asuka that we see now. You know what I mean? It's like, and something else that I learned. Asuka's 41 years old. She's 41. Does Asuka look 41 when she's moving? I mean, I don't think I move as well as Asuka. I mean, I'm 42, but still, I don't. Tickets for the Royal Rumble still available? Yeah. Really? On Ticketmaster? I mean, it's probably scalpers. Sonic Ice is the best. Gruss, I gotta put this on the screen because that's a fucking fact. You just made me, nigga. What? Nigga, I'm about to drive to Sonic right after this show, nigga. You just made, what's today? What is today? Friday? Oh, SmackDown? What else I gotta do today? Me and the kid going to Sonic. I think the kid gonna want it. I'm giving his first Coney dog. Gruss, thank you, Gruss. I am in the mood. I'm gonna drive 30 minutes to Sonic just for a chili cheese Coney dog and a cherry limeade and some tater tots. Oh my God, my mouth is watering now. Kana will return. Yes, that is what we're talking about. It appears that Kana, if you're watching this later and you don't know who Kana is, that was Asuka's former ring name before she came to WWE, it's looking like she might be making some returns because she's been posting some stuff on social media. She's been posting some of these old sexy photos. It's either sexy or scary, depending on how you look at it. It looks like she might be a hostage. You know what I mean? She started posting these photos or whatever, and she posted something that said goodbye with the waving hand emoji, as if, she's just stoking the fire, fueling the fire of, maybe a possible gimmick change, which I think needs to happen immediately. Again, I'll repeat this. Sasha has never been good on the main roster as she was in NXT. I mean, that could probably be said for a few people, clearly. But Sasha, Asuka's definitely one of those. She was, obviously the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion. She never even dropped the fucking title. She just handed it over. It's like, nobody can beat me here. I'm leaving. You know what I mean? So, she needs something. And she doesn't need to be a baby face. She needs to be a tweener heel to where she's just shit talking people in Japanese and talking shit and dancing around people and mocking people for not being as good as her. That's what she did in NXT, and she was fire. Everybody fucking loved her, but she was definitely being a heel. You know what I mean? It was like, yo, she is bullying everybody, and nobody can beat her. She's dominant as fuck. She's a heel. But, she was just so good at it, she was a baby face, basically. So, it is what it is. I hope that this is definitely leading to something. It has to be. Because her and Alexa Bliss is clearly headed towards a heel turn or something with Bray or something. She has a plan. But both of them need to get the fuck out of Bianca Belair's shadow because they just look like fucking assistants, or they don't look like superstars standing next to the superstar and being her fucking help. Nakamura was better in Yes. Listen, yes. Like, not even close. Nakamura's been trash on the main roster. I mean, not him specifically, not his wrestling or gimmick. It's just the booking is trash. It's absolute garbage on the main roster. But that was all Vince McMahon. We haven't seen Nakamura in a while. And when we do see him, it's been a few weeks at least. And, he's not even on TV every week before that. So I think they're building something for Nakamura as well. All these guys, NXT's, Triple H's boys, man. All the people he put so much work and effort into making stars down there at NXT, Black and Gold, and then saw them go to Vince and be destroyed. So I think he's trying to repair a lot of people. I think Matt Riddle is about to get repaired, repackaged, whatever, back to the old NXT Matt Riddle that we all loved and not be this goofy, stupid stoner. Just giving all weed smokers a fucking bad name by being an idiot all the time. It's like, come on, man. And I can, Triple H ran the gimmick. I think Triple H was literally trying to destroy the gimmick with that whole bong joke. Because it was like, okay, it was funny week one. I was like, he's playing his bong. You want to hit my bong, bro? And the Usos smacking it. Like, all right, it was funny one time. 2 times it was like, okay, so this isn't going to become a thing. And then you realize it's going to become a thing because then he's out there with the bongos every fucking, for like 4 or 5 weeks straight. It's like, come on, bro. It's not funny. I don't want to see you and Elias in a group together. It's just, none of this is good. So, I feel like Triple H just did all that shit on purpose just to make us hate that version of Matt Riddle. And then we'll be appreciative when he gets to go back to the UFC, he's the real deal. I don't want to fight Matt Riddle in real life. Like, he beat my ass. Like, that man is dangerous. So he's willing to go up and talk shit to Brock Lesnar and Bill Goldberg. Like, he's not scared of nobody. Like, that dude he's a tough motherfucker, man. Or crazy, one or the other. You know what I mean? Tough and crazy. But I want to see serious Matt Riddle again. Facts, Gruss. I want to see the serious version of Riddle come out and pummel people, man, and do his MMA shit. And I want to see Riddle versus Goldberg, or I want to see Riddle versus Goldberg. That's a money match. Story's already there. You ain't got to do no work. It's already there. Just play the clips, show the backstage shit. Just do all that. You know what I mean? Like, it's there already. If those guys would be willing to work together at a WrestleMania, that's the match. Goldberg and Riddle. But I love to see Riddle versus Lashley. You know what I mean? And maybe a cage match or fight pit type thing. You know what I mean? Riddle versus Lesnar. Obviously, I don't even know if Lesnar would even do that. He'd be like, who the fuck is who? No. Lesnar will be on his diva shit. You know what I mean? But we'll see what happens with all these guys. I'm excited that Asuka's. I'm excited that there is potential that she could be teasing us for a gimmick change and maybe a possible heel turn or just being more edgy instead of this bright, colorful, smiling baby face who doesn't really win that much or has 50-50 booking most of the time. I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm good. Yeah, so yeah, she was a murder clown according to this article right here. That was I guess that's what the makeup and stuff. I didn't know that. I guess so, with the white paint over in the. Yeah, I guess she does look like a clown. I didn't put that together, but she was a murder clown. That's definitely far removed from the gimmick she's doing now. I don't even think you can say murder on WWE TV. I'm not even sure you can say it on YouTube without getting a strike. But yeah, so it is what it is. She also added the words to one of the posts that said, "The world is full of shit." So that sounds like someone who's about to turn heel. You know what I mean? And I, for one, am 1,000% here for it. Let's see. Yeah. It's Tony Khan phone call, which I am not popping enough to be a part of. One day I will be. This Tony Khan media call, he had a bunch of or strawberry limeade slushy. Bro, y'all are killing me right now. I'm so fucking hungry right now. I'm so hungry. Adding rum? Okay. All right, Jeff. All right, Jeff Hardy. First of all, you know what I mean? You're pulling into the drive-in. I hope you're drinking it. Well, no, don't drink it while you're there because then you got to drive home. So. hope you're waiting till you get home to mix that rum into your slushy, man. Come on, man. We already talked about this. But yeah, yeah, I'm definitely going to Sonic after this. That'll be a nice little Friday afternoon trip. Hopefully the traffic isn't too bad and I can get back before SmackDown so I can tweet. But yeah, strawberry limeade. The blue ones be good too. The blue slushies that they have, man, Sonic, man. I'm gonna go get 2-foot-long chili cheese coney dogs. And me and my son, he's gonna get a little piece because he don't eat that much. I'm crushed him. Oh my God, I'm so hungry now. I was about to make salmon tonight, and I don't even want it no more. I got a taste for fucking. I got a taste for chili cheese coney dogs, and one of those. What are they? Those toasted sandwiches they make. The burger with the toast. Oh, so good. Oh my God. Jeff Hardy bartender, right? Yeah, I mean, here, Jeff, you want another drink? How about a double? Enabler. But this Tony Khan press conference call was it was very revealing, to say the least, because I guess we can mention the whole William Regal thing. William Regal is obviously gone from AEW officially now. Tony Khan explained to us what happened. It wasn't a situation where he signed a 9-month contract, which was absolutely absurd for anyone to think that someone would sign a 9-month contract. It wasn't even a year-long contract, or it was a year-long contract, but, there was an option for him to renew after that 1 year. Apparently, William, Mr. Regal, went to Tony and asked Tony for a number of reasons if he would not renew his contract when that time came. The reason that William gave, the main reason was family. He wanted to go back and be with his son, which we've talked about a number of times already. He wanted to go back and be with his son and help train his son. And obviously something he probably didn't tell Tony, but we all know it's true. He wants to go work with his, best bud Triple H, or one of his best buds Triple H. So Tony Khan did some real nigga shit. I ain't gonna lie. He's, hey, man, you don't want to be here, man? Hey, man. And he didn't want to be there. He just wanted to be somewhere else. You know what I mean? And this is a good lesson for you guys out there. You know what I mean? If your girl acting like she want to be somewhere else, don't fight to keep her. You know what I mean? Let her ass go. And when she tries to come back, say no. You know what I mean? That is, you know what I mean? It's like if, motherfucking William Regal come back to Tony Khan like, you know what, man? I changed my mind, bro. Fuck my son, man. I don't care about them. I want to hang with you. Be like, nah, man. Take your ass back over there where you wanted to go. We don't need you. We good. You know what I mean? But no, these guys obviously have a good relationship. Tony Khan respects William Regal. And he gave that man what he wanted. And not only did he give him what he wanted, he let him go early. Because clearly the year hasn't come up on his contract. I think it's December, January, February, something like that. His contract was almost up. But Tony's like, hey, man, that's what you want to do, man. You can go ahead and do that now, man. We go ahead and get this done. We'll write you off of TV. We thought that he was written off of TV when MJF killed him. But that wasn't the case, even though it should have been the case because the explanation just totally whiffed. Tony Khan let William Regal out of his contract, or he didn't re-sign him, and he let him out of his contract. He kind of did both. And it's good for both parties because Tony Khan, as I've ranted about 10,000 times on this show, he's turned into baby Vince McMahon. Why are you trying to hold people hostage? Now, I did bring this up. This could cause some issues because if homie Andrade don't want to be there and you holding on to him, like, his whole wife is over there, bro. Like, what if he want to go be with his wife? Like, Renee Young signed with you because she wanted to be with her husband. She could have went right back to WWE, but she's definitely making your program better, and she chose you. You know what I mean? Because her husband was there, probably. That would be, she's also said because she wanted to do new stuff, and she, she didn't like the strict, regimen over there, even though there was benefits to it. She just wanted to do something different, but she also wanted to be on the road with her husband. You know what I mean? You're married. You don't want to be away from somebody 300 days out the year. If that's your unless you hate them. You know what I mean? But obviously, that's not the case with Mox and Renee. So this could cause some issues with wrestlers, man, that want to leave and aren't allowed to because they're just going to be like, yo, how the fuck you going to let William Regal out of his contract early and not me? Like, you're not using me. He was on TV. He was in one of the biggest storylines, if not the biggest storyline. It was the biggest storyline on the fucking show. and you let him out of his contract before the shit was even over. The story was even finished being told. And you ain't got me on TV and you won't let me out my deal? What? Now, there is a situation. There's like a clause in the situation, like he's not going to be on TV. He's clearly going over there to work with his son, be behind the scenes, do the William Regal thing, probably the thing that he's best at, helping young talent get better because he is a master at it. This just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, it makes sense that he let him go and William Regal's going to do what he's going to, but it doesn't make any sense why he would not let other people go if they wanted to leave. That's some Vince McMahon shit. At some point, he's going to have to start doing large-scale roster cuts because you're paying a bunch of people not to be on TV, money. Like, how you going to keep that going? I know you're probably going to transfer 40 or 50 of those talents over to Ring of Honor, all the Ring of Honor people that are already on that roster, and you're probably going to add a few more people to bolster their roster when they get their TV deal, which I'm assuming is going to be announced at some point soon. But this could cause some issues. And he elaborated on one of those issues. It's kind of set me off, kind of triggered me a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. This man thought that it was a good idea to get on this call and tell us that the reason he should have just said he was dead. He should have been like, yeah, he died. Y'all didn't know? No, that's a clone on his Instagram. That's not him. Or he's injured at the very least. He broke his leg. No, he's not walking. It's a figment of your imagination on social media. He's injured. Don't worry about it. He has a heart problem or something. We're scared to put him in the ring. You should have said something outside of the fact that you can't come up with a fucking storyline for one of the most intriguing characters in your company. You are a fucking failure. If you can't find you don't even need a storyline. He's a monster heel. Just let him go out there, cut promo. Let him figure it out. Why are you writing anything for him anyway? Like, when did Tony Khan become this guy that wrote wrestling shows? I don't know how that happened. I thought he was hiring people to do that in the beginning, but clearly at this point now, we all know Hobbs just did an interview saying how Tony helped him structure his first match and all that shit. It's like, when did Tony Khan become that guy? He needs to be hiring people with multiple years of experience to do that. There's plenty of people in the wrestling business with experience to do that. If you can't come up with something for Miro to do, my G, you suck at your job. It's just the facts. The man is over without even being on TV. People are begging and clamoring for him to be on TV instead of the people you're giving us on TV. And you can't find anything to do with him? You can't put him up against Jungle Boy. You can't put him up against Hobbs. You can't put him up against Wardlow. You can't put him up against the JAS and have him just run through everybody. You can't think of anything to do with this guy? It's fucking Miro. He cut some of the best promos. He has the Redeemer gimmick is the best version of Miro we've ever seen. Like, I honestly hated that fucking version of Miro when he was running around with the singing dude and all. I got why it was over. He had a little catchy intro and all that, but I hated that shit because it was just like, this shit kind of corny. And he don't need a fucking henchman running around. He is the fucking henchman. You know what I mean? It's like, if you can't find nothing to do with this Redeemer gimmick, like, he needs to just let him go so this motherfucker can go do movies. Because Miro would be great on TV. I feel like he could be just as good in movies as Batista. I mean, he has a very believable face. You know what I mean? When it comes to certain shit. So, Tony Khan, you failed in this aspect, my guy. You failed in this aspect. Now, I do want to give Tony Khan a little bit of leeway when it comes to certain things. Because as someone who is currently going through a lot with his family and whose mother is basically on and off her deathbed the last few months, I've been struggling a lot. A lot of the times you guys hear me or you see me and I look like I'm fucked up, it's probably just because I probably just finished, dealing with something with that. So when Tony did speak about this and how his mother had a stroke, and they weren't sure how it was going to turn out and all these different things, like, that shit hit me a little bit. So I definitely understood, you know, the situation a little more, a little clearer. Um, and around that time is when he had the conversation with William and William Regal, and they've, kind of fixed all those things or whatever. Um, but I'll give him a little bit of leeway because of that. Maybe his head is clouded, different things going on. That's why he needs help, man. Tony Khan needs a lot of help. There should be known people like do they have a writing team? You never hear about the writers at AEW. You just hear about Tony Khan. Who's the writing team at that company? WWE has a whole staff of writers to help the wrestlers, to go back and forth with ideas with the wrestlers, different things like that, to script the stories. It feels like Tony Khan is just doing everything. I want to assume that that's not the truth, that they actually have a few people back there helping, like, writing storylines, and he's not just in control of everything. But that needs to be made clear. Otherwise, he's just going to take all the blame. So, I'm going to cut him some slack, but I'm not going to cut him some slack on the fact that he can't figure out anything to do with Miro. That's unacceptable. That's just unacceptable. He's one of the most talented people, one of the most over people on your roster, and you can't figure out anything to do with him. Just sell the company, bro. You're not good at your job then. Like, you're just not. Like, it's no offense or anything. I mean, I might not be that great of a wrestling promoter. You know what I mean? Job's not for everybody. But I would know as a wrestling promoter that I should put Miro on screen. You can't find anything to do with Miro. But I got to watch Sadnam Singh and Sanjay Dutt. QT Marshall. Jesus Christ. I can't. I'm not about to rage. I'm not going to rage. I don't want to wake my son up. You know what? Y'all have heard me rant about this enough. I don't want to go in too hard. You know what I mean? Because that may, I'm trying to be sensitive to Tony Khan's situation. Because anybody who's dealt with a sick mother, I mean, me and T-Rav are dealing with the same thing right now. T-Rav, you pray for his family if that's the thing you do. His mother's going through it. She's very ill. My mother's very ill at the time, going through it. So, I want to be sensitive to that, and I will be sensitive to that, Plus, Tony Khan did a cool thing by letting William Regal out of his contract. So, Tony Khan's not a bad guy, man. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And that's okay, because he's only been doing it for 3 years, and that's okay. But sometimes you just got to come out, hey, man, I've been doing this 3 years. I'm a fuck up, guys. Guys, I'm going to do some shit y'all don't like. You know what I mean? And, y'all could call me stupid, tell me what I'm doing wrong, and I'll try to, make things better for the people who are watching and paying for the shows, like, at the end of the day. And he kind of did that on the scrum. He said he wants to listen to the fans and different things like that. But Miro better be on Dynamite next week. That's all I fucking know. Miro better be on Dynamite next week. Like, I just can't accept that you can't find any. Maybe not next week. Maybe after the start of the new year, because that's when people actually start paying attention to wrestling again. Maybe in January they bring them back, and we get the ball rolling. Otherwise, let him the fuck go. Let him go back to WWE so Triple H could do what Triple H does and make him a superstar. Because Miro is a fucking superstar. The dude oozes charisma. He's scary as shit when he's in his heel roll. He cuts the most crazy promos that, like, literally make you feel like you should go pray. You know what I mean? The man has beef with God. Like, he beefed with God. He was like, listen, God, don't get in his ring. The man is, he's a terrifying individual when he wants to be, or he could be the happy, jovial baby face. He could do anything. He's a talented bitch, man. And they need to figure out something to do with him, or they need to fire themselves at the end of the day. But yeah, the whole media call, the media scrum over the phone that he did, it was very revealing with the situation about his mom and why the Regal thing happened. And I think he should just kept that. He should have kept that whole Miro. I know he was asked about Miro because everyone's asking where the fuck is Miro. But think he should have just said, "Yeah, we had a couple health scares. We want him to get fully healthy before we brought him back." Like I wouldn't have said, "Yeah, we can't figure out anything to do with this super uber talented, guy who could be a heel or a babyface, who cuts great promos, who looks great, who has a hot wife. Like we can't figure out anything to do with this guy." Then you suck. No other explanation. So that's that. But there was some conflicting stories about that. I think um, the Wrestling Observer came out and said there was some conflicting stories. But how you gonna have conflicting stories to something that Tony Khan said himself? Now you're telling us that Tony Khan is lying to us, which would not be okay. You know what I mean? And then it's a bad lie. It's a lie that would make him look stupid. You know what I mean? Apparently, it was due to a combination of injuries and doing some acting and, and all this stuff that, that's why he's been inactive in AEW all year. But I'm not buying that. Nope, not buying that. That would be a much better excuse. Sasha Banks, you know what I mean? That you go and do her own thing, make her own career outside of the wrestling world. That would be awesome. Like I said, Miro could be in action movies tomorrow. You know what I mean? Hands down. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm not buying this, man. I'm not buying this. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully he's on TV this, in the next few weeks doing something that's productive. That's weird. I don't even know why I guess I'll mention that a little later. Someone else who is, speaking of bad booking, someone in WWE isn't happy with their booking. You don't usually hear this. You don't usually hear people. Usually they run a tight ship over there, especially with Triple H at the helm. People we usually just go to Triple H. Everybody could talk to Triple H. He's cool. Or Stephanie. You know what I mean? But apparently, Sonya Deville isn't happy over there. She's only wrestled a handful of matches this year. She's not SmackDown GM anymore. She doesn't have any more authority. She's getting beat when she does have matches by random people, Liv Morgan, Ronda Rousey, whoever. She's just losing. But she did an interview, and she said, "I want to wrestle." Well, she tweeted that out. I'm sorry. And she just tweeted, "I want to wrestle," with an exclamation point. She didn't really elaborate, but I know that's clearly what the issue is here. She hasn't wrestled all year. She's 1,000 times better than Ronda Rousey. I used to want to see Sonya Deville versus Ronda Rousey. Now I have no interest in seeing it because I've already seen it and it was not good because Ronda was getting all of the offense and making Sonya look like a scrub, even though Sonya herself was in MMA fighter, maybe not in MMA, or she was an MMA fighter. Maybe I don't think she made it to UFC, but she was, she's a real fighter herself. So they haven't built her up good at all. The whole GM shit was stupid, honestly, to me. Her just bullying people for no reason, and it wasn't even a good GM role. She had go away heat, and I'm glad they took her out of that role. But she showed up at NXT with Toxic Attraction a little while ago, and then lost to Alba Fire in a singles match. She hasn't done shit, man. She hasn't done shit. She had a couple cool series of matches with Liv Morgan. Liv, came out on top of that feud, obviously. But she hasn't done shit. So, who do you guys think that Sonya Deville should feud with? Like Ronda Rousey, I don't want to see that. I'd see that I'd like to see it if Deville was gonna win, but clearly she's not gonna beat Ronda Rousey. So, who else could she feud with? She's better as a heel. She needs to stay a heel because no one's ever gonna like her. She just has an unlikable face. She just looks like a bitch. You know what I mean? If you just look at her face, you know what I mean? She has the ultimate resting bitch face. You know what I mean? So she's great as a heel. I really don't know who I would want to see her feud with. I have to find a good baby face. She could feud with anybody. Tegan Knox, any of those motherfuckers she could feud with. So there's definitely options there. But hopefully she gets something. She's not going to be on a WrestleMania card unless there's, a battle royal with the women of some sort. So I can understand her sentiment. Sonya Deville, you definitely deserve to wrestle. She was getting so much better. She was already good and, a decent professional wrestler. But she had a lot of potential, and they kind of just pushed her to the side when Ronda came around, like they did a whole bunch of people. And we'll get into these last couple stories before we quickly run through the blunt ratings. Update on Barry Windham. Uh, he had a heart attack, a massive heart attack. Uh, it's tough. The family started to GoFundMe. They're trying to raise money, all these different things. Yeah. I just don't want to. It's just too much going on, man. But he's doing better. He says he's grateful that he stabilized and, out of the ICU. He's talking and able to stand up. He thanked everyone for, all the support and all that. The power of prayer is very strong, he said. And we're happy. He's on the road to recovery. I'm sure, Bray is very happy, that his uncle is not dead. You have a massive heart attack and you survive it without any, being a paraplegic or anything like that afterwards, then it's a blessing, man. It's a massive blessing. He's only 62 years old, man. Not even that old. I mean, he's an old man, but he's not 80. So you want to see no one dying at 62 from a heart attack or anything like that. So hopefully he's doing whatever he can to keep himself healthy and, he makes a full 100% recovery from his issues. But maybe he needs to do what one of Kevin Nash's friends did at the WWE Hall of Fame induction of DX. Apparently Larry Zbyszko was high as fuck. I didn't even know Larry Zbyszko smoked weed, but I should just start assuming that everybody smokes weed. I just thought that was funny to mention because this is Wrestling on Weed, by the way. So Kevin Nash said that he actually told that story of Larry Zbyszko being high as shit, during that Hall of Fame ceremony in 2015. So I just thought that was funny. We got to mention the weed stories here. There was a name change. Wrestler got a name change. Which brand would you guess that it was on? WWE, right? Of course, they change people names all the time. That's kind of a thing. It's a normal thing they do in WWE. Someone gets a name and they'll change it, whether it's a good idea or a bad idea. This time, though, it's AEW. Did you guys hear whose name they changed? I mean, he did have a bad name, but I don't think it got no better. The man's name is W. Morrissey. Now, you've seen him do some real violent shit on Dynamite this past week. We'll talk about that in a minute. But guess what his name is now? You can't make this shit up, bro. This man's name is Big Bill. I'm done. I think I should end the show there. His name is Big Bill. Is he a hillbilly from Louisiana who wears overalls? Like, why is his fucking name Big Bill? This man has like a doctorate. He's like a doctor, isn't he? I don't know. This man's smart as fuck. Why is he calling himself Big Bill? Who told him that was a good name? Who? What's wrong? Why didn't he just go by Morrissey? Why don't he just call himself Morrissey? The W is stupid. Like, why W. Morrissey? What are you, fucking lawyer? Like, just call yourself Morrissey. It sounds like a name. Like, it just sounds like a singular name. Just call yourself Morrissey. Anything. But Big Bill, my guy, Big Bill, and he didn't go with Big Will. Obviously, there's already a Will there, Will Hobbs, and he's just as big, but if not bigger. But Big Bill is a terrible name, bro. That's like the most generic. That's like the starting name for a created character. Like, I don't even know. Like, why? I don't know. It's just not a good name change. And that's not a good name. But it's already been made official. Apparently, it's already on AEW promotional materials and all these different things. So, Big Bill and Lee Moriarty tag team, I guess, is what we're going to be getting in the future or something. It's all the firm, and nobody cares about the firm because nobody cares about the firm. They only care about Ethan Page and fucking Stokely Hathaway. You know what I mean? Because those guys are the draws on that specific stable, in that specific stable. So it is what it is, man. That is all the news that we have for today. I hope I got to cover everything that's happened over the last few days. There has been a lot of professional wrestling news, mainly with the Regal, Tony Khan, WWE situation, and all the Sasha Banks drama that's going on with her, and her popping up in New Japan is a massive deal. So that's all the news we got for today, fellas and ladies, if you're watching this later. But you know what we got to do, man. We just watched 48 hours ago an awesome episode of Dynamite. I thought it was an awesome episode, in my opinion, even though the ratings didn't quite reflect that. I thought that it was a damn good episode of Dynamite. So let's talk about it. It's time for the blunt ratings.
It's time for the blunt ratings. If this is your first time tuning in, this is how the blunt ratings work. We take each show and break them down into 5 categories: matches, promos and backstage segments, storytelling, commentary, and the crowd. For each category, each show can get up to 5 blunts. The average score of those 5 categories stands as the official blunt rating. Those are the rules. Now let's get right into tonight's edition of the blunt ratings.
We want the smoke.
Talk to him.
We want the smoke. We want the smoke.
Come on, Charlie.
Boom. What's up, y'all? I'm back. Let's go through this show real quick before the kid arises like the Undertaker. Man, this episode of Dynamite, like I said, it was pretty good, man. It started off with a battle royal, Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal. You know, whoever wins the battle royal gets a shot at the Dynamite Diamond ring. We had the entrance in the match. It was the Machine Brian Cage, Ring of Honor 6-man tag champion. I didn't even know they had trios, 6-man tag champions. But anyways, Dalton Castle with his boys out there on the outside. This looked like a lumberjack battle royal with so many people with their squads on the outside. You had all ego Ethan Page out there with the Firm. You had Jungle Boy Jack Perry out there. You had Matt Hardy out there. Then you had Ricky Starks. Absolute Ricky Starks was out there. You had Sean Dean. You had the Butcher. No Blade. You had Lee Moriarty. You had Kip Sabian. You had Orange Cassidy. And you had Dustin Rhodes, who recently announced his retirement from WWE or from AEW and wrestling in general. Me and Fizz talked about that a few days ago. So those are the entrants, and this match was decent. Dustin came in, got a huge pop because everyone loves Dustin. They respect him at the very least. So he got a good pop, came in and got eliminated in about 45 seconds. I was like, bruh, why'd you even put this man in this match? Why? I know you try and get people on TV. I would have rather seen Miro come in and destroy everybody, and then like a whole group of people eliminate him, and then he just takes his vengeance out on everybody. I must redeem myself, and I'm killing everybody that was in this match, basically. I'm gonna stop bringing up Miro. Listen, I'm almost over it. Like, not him, but I'm just over the fact that I'm gonna ever see him on AEW TV. Once I hear that you can't find nothing to do with somebody that talented, I'm just not even gonna expect you to figure it out because you're an idiot. So, but yeah, Dustin Rhodes did eliminate Kip Sabian with the pretty smooth Canadian destroyer, and got him up and threw him over the top rope, closed on him over the top rope. Who else? Starks eliminated the Butcher. Jack Perry took out Lee Moriarty with the Hurricane over the top rope. This is where things got savage because Big Bill, fuck, that's a terrible name. Big Bill picked this man Jack Perry up off the ring apron. He was trying to hold on so he didn't get eliminated, but Big Bill was like, you know what? I think I'm going to take care of this situation here, Lee. He picked Jungle Boy up and choke slammed him on his neck on the ring apron. This is one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. Like, there was something even more horrible that happened later. Jesus Christ, Darby Allin. But this was gross. I was like, oh, we need paramedics, right? Like, he just landed on his neck on the ring apron. That couldn't have felt good. But yeah, he clearly fell to the floor because you're dead after that. But yeah, that shit was vicious, bro. That shit was vicious. I was like, who's doing? sometimes there's just spots that you don't need to do. Like flying headbutts, I don't need to see no more. Leg drops, I don't need to see no more. I don't need to see people getting their necks power bombed or choke slammed on the ring apron, the hardest part of the ring, if you don't know. But yeah, it's just I don't need to see that. That just made me uncomfortable. It's just like an injury waiting to happen. Maybe I'm being a soy boy. I don't know. I'm just good on that. But Ethan Page tossed Sean Dean over the top rope, getting him out of there. Then it got down to Ethan Page, Matt Hardy, and Ricky Starks. Obviously, Matt Hardy is helping Ethan Page the whole time because Ethan said, "You gonna help me win this match, bitch, or you're fired." I don't even know if that's what he said, but he said he's gonna help me win this match. And Matt Hardy agreed because he has no choice. He's Ethan's bitch at the current time. So Ethan tried to do a power slam, but Ricky Starks held on. Page got dumped over the top rope. So that was that. Ricky Starks won the Dynamite Battle Royal, which means he now has a title shot against MJF, and he's fighting for the for the AEW Dynamite Diamond Ring. So this is good. I mean, it's Ricky Starks. This is when it just, the entire show changed. There was a career that was changed. There was another career that was, I don't even know what you want to say happened. It was clear. It was made clear what MJF was as a wrestling savant. But after this match, MJF came out and talked a bunch of shit about Bryan Danielson because obviously they're going to have a match or whatever at some point. But then, after he's just ripped a new one into, do I have the promo up? Let me see if I have the promo up. Yeah, Max basically said, "Now, Ricky, these people seem to like you around here. You know, they talk about you like you're some underutilized god of professional wrestling, but you want to know the truth? The truth is, in comparison to me, you're the absolute drizzling shits." Like, geez, he's diarrhea? Okay. And he said, "No offense, Richard." Should have just called him Dick. No offense, Richard. You ain't nothing more than a dollar store Dwayne. That was a fire line, I ain't gonna lie. So I'm gonna start calling you the Pebble. That was so good. And here's what's going to happen next week in the main event of Dynamite. I'm going to put you in my pocket, hop in my Porsche. I'm going to drive you to the nearest body of water, and I'm going to skip you all the way back to Billy Corgan's NWA where you belong. I don't care that you're absolute because I'm a generational talent and my reign of terror has just begun. Standard stuff for MJF. I mean, he's a treasure. He's fire on the mic. You better not touch the microphone if you ain't going to be able to keep up. So, Ricky Starks is over in the corner smiling, just cheesing, grinning like a Chester. Like, hey, this is, it's pretty good jabs, man. Ha, ha, ha. Real funny, bro. And he walked by him, shoulder checked him, then when he got the mic. And I can't do this with the same vigor and passion that he did it because that needs to come from a certain place. And I'm not in a feud with MJF, so I don't. But this man went ham on MJ. I've never heard CM Punk didn't do this well against MJF. He just didn't, and that was an amazing promo battle. It was fire, but this was just a different caliber of passion when it came to what he was talking about. He said, "Well, Max, I should have expected fifth-rate Roddy Piper wannabe who wanted to come out here. Every single week you come out here and smell, and you think you're better than me. Give me a break. Everything about you screams cheap. The cheap suit, the cheap shoes, the cheap heat. With that AEW championship comes big responsibility that you know nothing about. When these people got behind me, I gave them a reason to keep going. But when it comes to Ricky, I deliver on time every night, every week, every month. And you could take your little ass to Greece because you didn't get paid enough. He said, I remained here busting my ass. You avoid responsibilities and pressure." you blow off meet and greets because you don't care. There comes a lot of responsibility when it comes to people actually liking me. I live with dignity. I live with respect. You know nothing about that. When I lived in my car in South Austin, which they were right up the street from during Dynamite, I was grinding. I knew the responsibility of taking care of myself. You think just because you kiss ass, you can get whatever you want? Please give me a break. Next week is a big deal because I'm putting up and I'm shutting you up for once in your life. You don't deserve this, but I do. I never needed a name to make it right here. Next week, I'm stomping an asshole right into you. Stumping an asshole into him? I'm pretty sure he has one. Anyways, I'm taking the title. I'm going to do you a favor that you never had done in your life. I'm going to take the responsibility off your plate, little boy. I was like, ooh, the little boy thing just kind of stung. But yes, Ricky Starks basically undressed this man. Once you tell a man he stinks, like, bro, you smell bad. Your shirt, you don't iron your shirt. You're wrinkled. Your scarf is cheap. Like, everything about you. He talked about his haircut. Like, he was just roasting him for like 5 minutes straight and very loudly and aggressively. So it was just, and MJF sitting there like, he looked like he wanted to cry. But he didn't. He just kicked him in the dick. He kicked him in his Richard. Oh man, he kicked him in his Richard, and yeah, they then start taunting him a little bit, but he bragged a little bit too much because he gave him time to recover before he got up out of there. And then Ricky Starks got up and literally speared that man out of his shoes. He speared that man out of his shoes. That was funny. He said, "You smell like paint thinner and ass." Yes, that was the quote. Thank you. What? And why didn't they put that on here? That was the best line of the whole shit. They didn't put that on the Dynamite site. But yeah, just told that man he smelled like paint thinner and ass. Like that's yeah, bro. That's hard to recover from. But MJF is back in full heel mode, so he just kicked him in the dick and kept it moving. I appreciated that. Got speared out of his shoes. It was man. It's a fire ass segment. Ricky Starks is a made man now. He had his coming out party during this segment. Everyone now appreciates what Ricky Starks can bring to the table, and I, for one, am happy. I always saw it. I didn't really watch him in NWA, but I knew who he was, or I knew of him. I had never really seen him wrestle or anything. But once he got to AEW, it was clear in that first match against Cody that dude was a fucking star. I mean, he smelled like a superstar. He didn't smell like ass and, paint thinner. We saw Moxley backstage. He wanted to fight and, whatever. Moxley promos are the same shit every time. Yeah, I mean, going back to 100 proof ass kicking wrestling. All right, bro. What you said was cool, but it's just like, all right, it's the same shit every week. So, him, Claudio, and Yuta gonna go out there and have a trios match later, and they gonna no sports entertainment, shenanigans, blah blah blah, same shit. Hangman Page, if you want another piece, you know where to find me. You know what I mean? So they're continuing on that storyline, which is cool. I'm down for Mox and Hangman again. Then we had self-proclaimed king of television, Murder Darby Allin. This was vicious. The most vicious thing on the program, definitely, even including that choke slam on the ring apron by Big Bill. Big fucking Bill. Why are they calling that man Big Bill now? It's terrible. But, Sting and Wardlow were banned from ringside for the match. No interference. And that was probably bad for Darby Allin because that boy needed some help. Jesus, Samoa Joe killed him. He killed that man. I ain't never seen somebody get tossed. Darby is the best seller in AEW, I think. He's the best seller in AEW. I don't know about the best seller. He takes the best bumps, though, the craziest bumps. He gets up a little fast, so I don't know if he's the best seller, but he definitely takes the craziest bumps. And that includes Sammy Guevara and Jungle Boy and all these other high flyers. He's a psychopath. Joe basically just destroyed him the entire match, beat the shit out of him. Darby tried to do one of his fucking bullet dives. Joe did my favorite wrestling move, which was not a wrestling move. He just walked the fuck out the way. Like, bitch, I see you coming. You're 20 feet away running towards me. I'm just going to move. Hey, Joe, you have common sense, man. I appreciate that. At least, it fucking helps kayfabe. Like, that's what somebody would actually do in real life if someone was running at them full speed, ready to dive at them through the ropes. They would just move. They wouldn't stand there and let them. But hey, I guess Joe's the only smart wrestler in all of wrestling. So this match was fun. Darby got murdered. Didn't look like he was, going to survive at one point, but he did. And Joe, I don't know if he choked him out. He hit him with the rear naked choke. Darby was out. But then after he got the submission victory, oh man, he picked this man up and gave him a muscle buster onto the wheels of the skateboard. I don't know how someone takes that spot and doesn't have multiple like vertebrae injury. Like, I can't even imagine like being dropped from that high, that aggressively onto a skateboard wheel and not having any injuries. It's not like he's covered in fat and blubber where like Joe and he could take those. Like, the man is skinny as a twig. Like, all that, every time he lands, his bones feel it. So I'm just like, how does he do this? I have no idea how Darby Allin takes these bumps, how he puts himself through this shit, but I mean, I guess I'm okay with it if he's willing, like, he's clearly willing to risk his life. He threw himself down some stairs in a body bag. The dude does not care about his own well-being. And I mean, I guess I should be entertained by it, I guess, but it's also uncomfortable sometimes. Samoa Joe gonna join. Why are you wishing that on Joe? Why would you wish that on Joe? That's not a good idea. That's not a good idea at all. Darby Allin reminds me of Spike Dudley in the original ECW. Same character. Crazy as batshit. Willing to put their bodies through the worst things people with 10 times more muscles won't do. Darby's willing to do. So you got to respect that shit, man. Got to respect that shit. Joe killed him though. It was bad. Tony Schiavone was backstage with Orange Cassidy and Kip Sabian after that. Orange Cassidy said if Kip want to fight him on Friday at Rampage, find somebody who could, blah, blah, blah. So we don't know who's going to pop up and, face Orange Cassidy. I don't know anyway. Gruss apparently has the spoilers, but I haven't seen them yet. And I probably won't see it tonight. I ain't gonna lie. My girl coming over. I'm gonna just chill and rub on her ass after SmackDown, and that's it. Y'all can tell me about Rampage tomorrow. I'll watch Simon Miller's ups and downs or something to catch up on what happened on Rampage. But yeah, after that we had Daniel Garcia, Jake Hager going up against Claudio and Wheeler Yuta. This match was good. Standard stuff. Nothing special, nothing crazy. I mean, obviously babyface is one. Excuse me, guys. Where'd that come from? Man, I was up for like 48 hours dealing with all this family shit, like at least 40 hours. It was a long couple days, man. That's why I wasn't here yesterday, but it's clearly catching up to me now. But after the match, after Blackpool Combat Club had the match, that's when we got this dumbass explanation. Hold on. Can't do this during the show, lady. All right. But yeah, so this explanation didn't hit with me. So Blackpool Combat Club was in the ring. Moxley came out there. All three of them were in the ring. The three remaining members. Well, I guess 3 of the 4 remaining members, because Bryan Danielson wasn't there for whatever reason. But then William Regal popped up on the screen with Tony Schiavone and said, yeah, I'm doing this interview with you, Tony, just in case something bad happens to me. And if you're watching this right now on TV, guys, that means something bad happened to me. So he said, the reason I did what I did was to lead by example and teach you the final thing. Always stay one step ahead and keep your eyes in the back of your head. I'm Blackpool Combat Club till the day I die, fellas. It's been emotional. I love William Regal, man. He's great for the business. But what the fuck was this? These dudes been wrestling for like 20 years each. You think they needed you to tell you to watch? So, the same dude who watched Seth Rollins bash Roman Reigns in the back of a chair and then got attacked with the chair himself, he needs to be taught the lesson to watch your back. Like, he literally experienced it. It was like the biggest moment of his career at one point. What lesson? Daniel Bryan was a whole fucking heel. He was the one who had other people watching their backs at one point. With Eric Rowan. Yeah, wait a minute. You don't think that they know? You don't think Claudio Castagnoli, he just dealt with Chris Jericho and the JAS and all the cheating they were dealing? You don't think they know to watch their back? It's pro wrestling. I think that was a bad explanation. That was not good. It didn't make any sense. I was like, hey, I think they already knew that lesson, William. You probably didn't need to do that. It would have been so much better if it would have been like, yeah, I'm a bad guy, which he always acknowledges. I'm a bad guy. And I thought that I was turning on joining the badder guy. You know what I mean? The other bad guy, the worst guy in the company. And, we were going to do some big things. And then I realized that I played myself because the worst guy was actually worse. And he killed me. You know what I mean? So they ain't even need an explanation. Just let that man go backstage and do his shit with his son. He ain't even going to be on TV. Why you have to bring him back and just no-sell the whole injury shit with MJF and just, yeah, guys, I did that to teach you a lesson, even though you're all 40 years old and have been wrestling for 2 decades and already know these lessons. Hey, just a reminder, I guess. It was bad, man. This shit didn't land. I was confused, and clearly Moxley was too, because he was looking at the screen like, what? He's like, nah, that can't be the reason, bro. You gotta have something better. You better give me something better than that. But they didn't. That was the reason, and it was what it was. Then he had a sit-down interview with Jamie Hayter. I love Jamie Hayter's voice. I love Jamie Hayter's ass. I love everything about Jamie Hayter. She's amazing. Her in-ring ability too, but definitely her ass. But anyways, she was back there like, yeah, everybody getting sit-down interviews. Motherfucker. I want one too. Ask me some questions, bitch. And Tony was like, all right, chill. I will ask some questions. What do you think about the women's division? I know that's the most generic question, but you ain't give me no time. Oh, man, she says she's doing her duty as the champion to defend. I'm going to have a close look at the match on Rampage between Sheeta and the Bunny. Whoever wins that match gets to wrestle me if they dare. I'm fighting. I'm a fighting champion and a bloody good one at that. And she is. I mean, I guess I wouldn't mind seeing Sheeta versus her, but then Sheeta's gonna lose. Jamie Hayter not losing that title, so I mean, I guess, but I don't know. I want to see her and Britt Baker feud. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like that's happening anytime soon. At least not, before the year's up. Then we had a trios match. Jade Cargill and the baddies, Redville and Lada Gray, going up against Kiera fucking Hogan. I mean, I knew, but sheesh. I mean, I love Kiera Hogan. Like, I like Kiera Hogan, Ring of Honor. But sheesh. That ass, though. I know y'all saw it. It was hard to miss. Like she just shit all over Tony Storm. You know what I mean? She made Gigi Dolan look like she got, a flat butt. You know what I mean? Damn, Kiera Hogan, girl, you fine as hell. You know what I mean? Man, and she's talented. She's definitely the best out of the group that she was in. She was teaming up with Sky Blue and Madison Rain. Madison Rain didn't need to be anywhere near this fucking match. She looks 20 years older than everybody that was in the ring. No offense, but she's older. She's an old lady at this point. She's not an old lady, but she's older. I get it. She's experienced. She didn't even do that much to even need to be out there. You know what I mean? So it was just like, what the fuck, man? But Madison Rain was there, another new signee of AEW that didn't need to happen. But whatever. The baddies won. Jade Cargill got in there and looked stiff as hell. the worst part of the whole match was when Jade was like confused about what the fuck next move was she was supposed to do, and she was just standing there like putting her face out, like, "Yo, you're hitting me, right? Are you gonna hit me? You're gonna? Oh, okay, you hit me. All right, now next move. What are we doing next? What are we? So, okay, I'm gonna." And it's like, did y'all practice? Did y'all go through this? Did y'all go in the ring and like work on this shit beforehand? Because why are you so lost sometimes? And I love Jade, but she's clearly green as hell, man. She's green as hell. You know what I mean? In the ring. But goddamn it, keep putting her in there because I want to see her on my TV. Like Ronda Rousey, I don't need to look at. You know what I mean? Nothing to look at there. Nothing to see there. Jade Cargill, you can have her on doing jumping jacks. Just let her go out there and do jumping jacks. I will watch her do push-ups. Just, as a matter of fact, put a gym in the ring and just let her work out. I don't care. Just keep her on my TV. You know what I mean? She'll get better. I have leeway. If I would give anybody leeway, it's going to be somebody like Jade Cargill. I will watch her get better with my own very eyes. We found a Hogan that Laylo likes. Hey, amen to that, Gruss. Amen to that. Dave, what's cracking, my guy? Thanks for sliding in as always. Blue Wrench Gang, you already know what it is. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's Kiera Hogan, man. Whew. But yeah, the baddies weren't really feeling Jade last night because she was talking the most shit. Obviously, you know, I'm this, I'm that. You know what I mean? And Red Velvet and Layla Gray looking at her like, especially Red Velvet. Red Velvet looked like she want all the smoke. She looked like she want all the smoke. And I love Red Velvet. I've been hyping her up forever just because I think she's super low-key talented. Like, she's really good in the ring. And she's cute as hell. She reminds me of Sasha. I ain't gonna lie. She might not be as good as Sasha in the ring because she don't have the experience, but she's getting there. She's working on it. She's clearly trying to be good. You know, so I have love for Red Velvet. I think she has a bright future, especially if she breaks away from Jade Cargill, which needs to happen at some point. You know, I like Jade having her minions and people in her stable who wrestle far better than she does because she needs that. But she did get the pin. She looks good when she does the jaded and she does the roll up and then she started licking on her titties and shit. And I was like, okay, we should just do this. We don't even need to see the wrestling. Just let her go into the ring and just lick her fingers and touch all over her body. I'm sure that'll get higher ratings than what Rampage is getting. I'm 100% sure. You know what I mean? I watch that shit on all my TVs at the same time. You know what I mean? You're like 7 viewers just for me, motherfucker. Keep playing. But yeah, so it was what it was. The match was ass. I ain't gonna lie, but it was what it was. Then we had the main event, which is I'm really finding it hard to give a shit. I ain't gonna lie. The match was good. It was really good. The match was really, really, really good. No build. The only reason I cared is because FTR deserve these titles, or they deserve this title match. They've been number 2 in the rankings for 7 years, so they definitely deserve the match. But you already fucked up the story because they should have had the title shot before the Acclaim had the belts, because you can't beat the Acclaim. Now, clearly, there has to be something down the pipeline for Ring of Honor because FTR defending those belts soon tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow at the pay-per-view. Ring of Honor pay-per-view. So the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships will be on the line against the Briscoes in a double dog collar match, which we found out later after this match. And I'm assuming they're going to drop the belts because they can't beat the Briscoes 3 times. That's not a good idea. For the Briscoes, if you're trying to make Ring of Honor mean anything when it does you can't do that. And you need your champions back on Ring of Honor. Clearly, they're AEW Dynamite talent, so they probably want to put the Ring of Honor titles back on Ring of Honor people before whatever happens over there happens, because it's got to happen soon. Tony Khan also mentioned in that phone call media scrum thing that they hear the fans. He says he hears the fans, and they're going to be having a lot less Ring of Honor on Dynamite, even though we still had to watch Jeff Jarrett and Sanjay Dutt and Jay Lethal and Satnam Singh watching the shit from the monitor backstage. I'm like, why are they watching the main event? Why are these guys anywhere near a main event of Dynamite? Why? I almost got angry. I swear I did. I almost got angry. But, FTR, the Acclaimed, the match was fire. There was like a 3-minute segment where it was looking like it could end at any moment. FTR might actually win, or the Acclaim might end it. It was just a bunch of kickouts and breaking up pins, and it was really well done, man. I mean, what do you expect? These guys killed it in the ring, and it ended with a surprise roll up out of nowhere by Max Caster getting a pin on Cash. And Cash just looked super shocked and disappointed, angry at himself for letting it slip through his fingers like that. So there goes FTR's AEW title shot. Not sure where they are in the rankings. That don't matter anyway. Now that they lost, they're probably going to lose the Ring of Honor Championship. So we're never going to get that moment. We're never going to get that moment where we see them with 4 belts each, 4 or 5 belts each, and they're the champions of all the companies except for AEW. We're not going to get to see it because Tony Khan failed miserably at booking these guys. Even though they were in high-profile matches and different things like that. If you're putting all these belts on, putting all these belts on them, but you won't put the tag belts on them that mean the most to the company that they're working for. Especially after the year that they had, like it just, I get it. The Acclaim kind of forced their hand, but it was already too late. Like it shouldn't have got to that point to where the Acclaim was so hot that no one wanted to see them beat. You know what I mean? Or people wanted to see them get the belts instead of like. They should FTR should already had them fucking belts from Swerve and Our Glory. Like, they should have took them off of them. You know what I mean? They tried to slow walk this fucking story with Swerve and Keith Lee. They still slow walking it. That shit taking longer than Bray Wyatt's reveal. I don't know what the fuck going on with Bray. I'm still trying, but it's like that shit not as long as the Swerve and Keith Lee shit that's been going on for 7 months, it feels like. But yeah, man. It's it is what it is. I'm over it. I'm over the idea of FTR holding all the gold. So, the match was good. They're going to drop a couple belts. They'll probably, get another title shot down the line against the Acclaimed, or, they'll win the AEW tag titles at some point after the Acclaimed drops them. Who fucking knows? I'm just watching to see. Like I said, the Guns came out after that, the Gun Club, Billy Sons. And, they're the ones who announced the match at Ring of Honor. Pay-per-view tomorrow. So I don't know why they did that, even though they were entertaining while they were doing it. They need to be in the ring. I feel like they're a good team as well, and they need to have more spotlight focused on them as an in-ring team, and they need to get some wins so people can start taking them seriously. But that was it. Yeah, man. Dynamite was good. It was really good. I really enjoyed the show. Most of the promos were decent. Most of the wrestling was decent outside of Jade being stiff as hell, but at least she looks good. You know what I mean? So, I'd rather see, if a wrestler gonna get in the ring and be trash, at least, a female wrestler at least look good. I don't care if a dude looks good or not. You know what I mean? He could be trash. If a dude is trash in the ring, just get the fuck out. Okay, I want to speak for my female fans too. You know what I mean? If there's any female or the female fans of wrestling, you know what I mean? I'm sure you guys don't mind seeing whoever sucks at wrestling, as long as they're attractive. I don't know. Maybe you're all shallow like me, or maybe not. I don't get it. But most of the show was great, man. Is it too early for the Acclaim to lose the belts? They rushed into FTR Acclaim match. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They misplayed the story. They just misplayed the story. Those belts should have been on FTR. Maybe the Acclaim should have took them from FTR instead of Swerving Our Glory. But they've been number 2 in the rankings since March or April, something like that. So they should have had their title shot. They should have been won. Keith Lee and Swerve are a decent tag team, but they're way better as singles wrestlers. You got the best tag team probably in the world next to the Usos, clearly. And they're not getting a title shot for the most important belts in your company. That don't make no fucking sense, bro. That don't make no fucking... All you doing is saying that, those other belts are more important than, your tag belts. And then you made trios belts. It's like, whatever. It is what it is. Between Jay Cargill and Kiera Hogan's cheeks, that was a 5-star... Hey, man, listen. And we do blunts over here. You know better. But yeah, that was a 5-blunt match. Because, it was definitely... hey, man. You got to throw Red Velvet and Layla Gray in there, too, man. Them ladies are not bad to look at either, man. But, yeah, Kiera and Jade are on a different level. I will give you that. Yeah, man. That's it. Those are the Dynamite Blunt ratings. Promos and backstage segments, I gave 3.5. Matches, I gave 4.25. Storytelling, I gave 3.5 blunts. Commentary, I gave 4 blunts. And the crowd, I gave 5 because the crowd, where they were in Austin, was crazy during that MJF and Ricky Starks promo. They were crazy all night for real. The crowd was hot. Austin's a well, they weren't in Austin, but they were in Texas. Texas is a wrestling place, so the crowd was really good down there. Decent show for AEW Dynamite, above decent, better than average show. Not the best show they've ever done or anything crazy like that, but it was very entertaining. And hopefully SmackDown is the same tonight because I'm actually going to get to watch it live because I'm not at work. Usually this time you guys wouldn't see me because I'd be at work, but I am not. I am here able to do the show. So that's it. We got 9 viewers in here, man. Hit the like button if you're watching right now. If you never watched the show before, my name is Mr. HD, a.k.a. Lalo. I am the general of this movement here at Wrestling on Weed. We're live 3 times a week, and, we appreciate you guys being here, man. Everybody is welcomed. You know what I mean? Everybody is welcome except for Hulk Hogan, Kanye West. Who else? Who else is not welcomed here? Wow. Anyone who hates weed. Who else? Vince McMahon is not allowed here. Who else is? I can't. Marina Shafir. Nope. No, thank you. Ronda Rousey. Nope. You can't come. There's some other people who are not allowed, but you guys watching right now, you're cool with me, man. You're all cool. Thumbs up for all y'all, guys or gals who are watching. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate y'all, man. All of us in the crowd went to Sonic and got drinks. Hey, bro, hold on, man. I gotta look. It's 5:44. Damn, I'm about to be in the middle of traffic. I don't even give a fuck either. Sonic. Hold on, how far away is this shit? Wait, that's not even, hold on. Walk Cap Heights? Hold on, that's 15 miles. Oh, damn. Shit, 15 miles. Shit, traffic, man. I fucking hate traffic. I'm gonna wait till like 6:30, 7 o'clock. Then I'm gonna dip out. Because this probably go from 43 minutes to like 26 minutes. Because it ain't that far away. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to Sonic. Because now I can't get the taste out my mouth. Pause. That I don't know how that sounded. But, yeah. Herschel Walker definitely can't come. Vince Russo is not invited. You know what I mean? Vince Russo is definitely... Yo, y'all want to know some funny shit? Y'all know J Dash, the homie, who used to work for us, got paid very well to work over here at WoW Nation. Once we had to do some budget cuts... like Vince McMahon, he transitioned over to working for Sports Kita, which was obviously a massive upgrade. I'm not Sports Kita yet. Yeah, I mean, we ain't on that level yet. But Jay is now over there, one of the head writers over there at Sports Kita. And he's actually the one who broke all the MJ or William Regal news. And he definitely broke the whole shit. He the one who caused all the noise about EC3 and saying all the shit that EC3 said. And it's because E3C, I fucking get confused. But EC3, Ethan Carter III. He actually works for that company. And so does Vince Russo. So once I found that out, I was like, oh, I'm taking all this shit with a grain of salt. None of that shit can be true. Like, because they were talking about people backstage not wanting to fuck with William Regal and not wanting to listen to him and blah, blah, blah. And, you have people backstage coming out and refuting that shit automatically and all that shit. And then you hear that, yeah, he's basically, I don't know if he's an anonymous source or if he works with them directly or if he owns the company. I don't know what the fuck his association is with EC3, but, I got the inside. I got a man on the inside. You know what I mean? So just don't even worry about it. You know what I mean? If I say it's happening, it's happening. So you just got to believe me. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. I was like, Jay, send me all the juicy stuff that you can't talk about. Because obviously his hands are cuffed. You know what I mean? He's working for the man now. It's not as free and freewheeling over there. He couldn't even say shit about Vince Russo. Like, I was roasting Vince Russo about him coming out trying to say Seth Rollins wasn't great. Like, bitch, you've never been good at anything in pro wrestling. Shut the fuck up. How are you saying Seth Rollins isn't good at his job? You fucking mark. Get out of here. I hate Vince Russo's voice. I hate it. I swear to God. Every time he talks, I want to punch him in his face. He's just, oh God, he's such a fucking clown. But you Seth Rollins, bro. Anybody who says bro 17 times in one sentence has no brain. Like, you can't have a brain. It's like Matt Riddle smokes more weed than everybody. He don't say bro that much. He says bro more than Matt Riddle. It's fucking regular conversation. Matt Riddle playing a character. Like, bro, hey, bro. Hey, bro, Seth Rollins is that good, bro. I just don't see what people seeing him, bro. Bro, I don't get it, bro. Bro. Hey, man, get the fuck out my face, bro. It's the only time you my bro is when you get the fuck out my face. But yeah, Vince Russo definitely can't come. He's not invited to Wild Nation. But again, all you motherfuckers, y'all are welcome to be here anytime to talk with your boy about pro wrestling. We will be here tomorrow. We gonna watch the pay-per-view, man, even though I don't give a shit about no fucking Ring of Honor, man. We gonna watch the motherfucking pay-per-view, man. We gonna be here. We gonna talk about it. We gonna do some blunt ratings for the matches. I do want to shout out Josh Alexander. Who did Josh Alexander fight in that match? Hold on. I wasn't paying attention. I just saw the highlights because I don't watch that show. Who did he fight? Y'all tell me before I look it up. Josh Alexander. Mike Bailey. Yeah. This match was amazing, man. Match was amazing. Hour long. I watched some of the clips. I couldn't get. They post the match on YouTube, which I was like, okay. But yeah, they post the match on YouTube. It's all there. Hour long match, man. I was skipping through it, but yeah, it looked like a great match. It's been being lauded all over the internet. Everybody's giving Josh his flowers right now. I'm happy for him. You know what I mean? I compared him to Kurt Angle a few times. He, obviously has the whole professional amateur wrestler look and gear to him. And he's phenomenal in the ring. Probably the best that they have. You know what I mean? I know we got some other great talent over there at Impact. But, this is different, man. Josh killed it. I'm happy for him. Watch the NXT PLE. That's what's on. Yeah. We're watching that tomorrow. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, no, there's not 2 shows on tomorrow, man. You almost scared me. PLE is on the what's it called? NXT it's not Stand and Deliver, that's WrestleMania. What's the nobody watches Impact. Nobody. You can ask JD who watches Impact. He's the JD from NY. That's why I got into his show. Like, honestly, I like his show the most because when he talks about Impact, that shit is hilarious. I ain't gonna even lie. He's maybe trolling the shit out of Impact, and that shit be having me cracking the fuck up. I ain't gonna even lie. Like, me and JD probably wouldn't hang out like in real life just because, you know what I mean? I doubt he likes weed. He don't seem like the type of dude who like weed. You know what I mean? Plus, I like bad bitches. I don't look like the type of dude who bags bad bitches. I see, you know what I mean? You gonna roll with me, my nigga, you can't scare the girls away. You know what I mean? That's just rule number 1. So but he is a great, great wrestling podcaster, man. Even though he gets a lot of shit, it's because he talks his shit, man. He's confident, and I ain't mad at him, even though he said Sasha Banks will definitely never leave WWE. He just said that shit last week. I was like, well, that didn't age well, bro. I can't stop saying bro. Oh, man. It's 2 shows tomorrow. Okay, so I'm not confused. It is 2 shows tomorrow. All right, cool. I was like, damn. Totally forgot about that. Streaming era, wrestling, fucking Twitch, man. Fucking Twitch. Want to end the broadcast or continue without? What? Okay, whatever. Just end it to Twitch. I'm glad they fixed that. Twitch is tripping. Damn, we've been live for 2 hours, guys. That's lit. This is the longest show we did in a long time, man. Damn, that's what's up, man. I'm glad I got to do this. I don't get to do long form. Well, it's always an hour and a half show, but getting to do 2+ hours is always fun. So yeah, 2 shows tomorrow. So, okay, I don't know if we're going to do both of them. But Ring of Honor's at 4. NXT is normal time. I can't do a live stream for both. Which one would y'all rather me do the watch along for? The Ring of Honor or the NXT joint? Y'all let me know, and I'll try to show up for whichever one y'all want me to do. The NXT joint, the only thing I'm really super excited about is Apollo Crews versus Braun Breaker, even though it's pretty predictable. You know what I mean? Their vignettes, have y'all been watching those vignettes between those two? Those like babyface versus babyface vignettes? Like they're both like buddy going fishing and going to bars and shit. I love that shit. Like the passive aggressiveness of those promos and those segments is amazing. It's uncomfortable and awesome because it's like, oh, they're friends. This is awesome. It's like you're watching, what's that movie with fucking Will Ferrell and Brothers is like, hey, you're watching brothers from another. Hang out, man. This is cool. But they also talking shit to each other the whole time. But in the nicest way possible. That shit, I love those vignettes. I caught them on YouTube. It's like, oh shit, man, this shit might make me start watching NXT, but it's already over. So I guess not. I wasn't planning on watching. Yeah, NXT. Yeah. It's no matches really hyping. That's hype for NXT. I think I'd rather watch the ROH pay per view. You know what I mean? I think it feels like a AEW pay per view, so I feel like I'd rather watch that than NXT. But NXT is free, so I'm definitely watching that. I gotta pay for the fucking Ring of Honor pay per view, so you know, my girl will be here, so I don't know if I'm gonna watch both of them, but I'll definitely. Yeah, it's $50, Gruss. Yeah, I don't know about that, man. Maybe I'll do it just so I could do the watch along and talk about it while it's happening with you guys, so y'all ain't got to pay for it. Maybe I'll do that. You know what I mean? If you guys are interested in that. But I'm gonna get up out of here. The kid has arisen. So I'm gonna go be a dad and drive my ass to Sonic. I'm about to put us on some clothes. We about to get dressed up. Not dressed up, but we about to get dressed, and we about to drive our asses to Sonic for some foot-long chili cheese conies and some tater tots and some strawberry limeades. Oh man, I can't wait. I'll see you guys on Monday. Me and Fizz will be here. You already know how it is. We'll be Tuesday. I don't know why I said Monday. My days always get confused. We'll see you guys on Tuesday. We will be here, me and Physics, who I just saw. Let me show you guys this before I dip out real quick. So I was in the casino a couple days ago, and, I was headed out. You know what I mean? I just lost $500, you know what I mean, playing poker. I was mad, so I wasn't mad. I would play poker all the time. But I was just, strolling the casino, and then look who walked in. Look who walked into the casino. The gang is here. You know what I mean? Fizz don't be telling me shit. I don't be knowing I didn't know he played poker. So, you know what I mean? Or I would have been organized some fucking, you know what I mean, some wild poker trips to the MGM, you know what I mean? Because I play all the time. But apparently he plays, you know what I mean, kind of regularly too. So, you know what I mean, maybe you guys will get to see us do some poker vlogs one day, you know what I mean, out there talking shit. But yeah, the two OGs of WoW Nation, me and Fizz, finally got to link up in person. We used to be able to link up in person a lot more because we both doing shows and music videos, and we record in the same studio. We were both recording with Team Demolition out in VA for years, and he still does. I'm retired, but yeah, Step Brothers. That was the name of the movie I was thinking of. Thanks, Dave. But yeah, so I got to run into Fizz, man. That was cool as shit, man. Getting to see the homie that I see every week, you know what I mean? But I don't only get to see him online because we probably live like a good 45 minutes to an hour from each other, and I be in the house. I'm a dad now, so I don't be in the streets. So, it was good to get to run into the homie, at the casino. Now that I know he plays poker, we're going to have to organize some more trips so we can get some more, some chemistry bonding. Me and Fizz have all the chemistry on the show already, so we don't really need that. But it'll be fun to hang with the guys and give you guys some more content outside of just talking about the wrestling, man. So, appreciate y'all being here. Feel y'all being here for the whole 2 hours, man. I appreciate that shit. It's like mad watch time for your boy, even though we're like 10,000 hours of watch time. I ain't even gonna lie. We crushed that shit, whatever the monetization goal for watch time a long time ago. That's all because of you motherfuckers who are here every single show on time, watching the entire show. It's all because of y'all. We just got to get like 470 more people. And then we'll be able to skyrocket. We'll be able to monetize the channel and actually make some money. But for right now, the show is sponsored. The channel is sponsored by Paris Thoreau Clothing Company. If you're looking for high-end men's fashion accessories, I am a fashion designer. That is my career. I've been making clothes for 20-plus years. I worked really hard on this brand. You can visit ParisThoreau.com to check out all the neckties, premium 100% silk neckties, leather belts. We got a couple tees on there. I have some dope-ass hats that are way better than any hat you're going to get from a fucking Balenciaga or some of them shits. My hats actually last. You know what I mean? They're comfortable and they're not stiff and all that shit. My belts are thick premium leather. You know what I mean? We got them in black and cherry brown. You know what I mean? So go check out the website. You know what I mean? ParisThoreau.com. That's ParisTerrell.com. For any of those holiday gifts that you might need for someone in your life or yourself, man. Treat yourself. You got a job interview or a court case you got to go to, go buy a necktie. Go buy a necktie. But that's it, man. I'll see you guys on Tuesday for the Monday Night Raw, blunt ratings, and more news joints. Until then, guys, it's your boy Miss Stage D. Follow us on social media at Wrestling on Weed on Twitter, Instagram. You see, I've been more active on Twitter lately. I be trying to live tweet the shows and get stuff out and just talk some shit on Twitter, even though I fucking hate Twitter. But Elon's in control now, so I might not get banned if I say something reckless. So follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and we're on TikTok, but I'm going to give that to Physics, and he'll be able to do the TikTok because he's a TikTok guy. I can't do it. The next manager for Maximum Male Models is Laylo. Hey, man, listen, I would do it. I would definitely. Hey, man, they called me, asked me to do that gimmick. I ain't gonna dress like him. I ain't wearing no tight short shorts. But hey, man, I'd be the dude in the suit telling them what to do because it would be funny as hell. As long as I ain't got to take no bumps because I got a bad knee. But that's it, guys. I'll see you guys on Tuesday, around noon. You know how we do, 420 style. But we'll see you guys then, man. Blue Ridge Gang, you already know what it is. Love you guys, man. See y'all on Tuesday. Deuces.